into P2, and Jamie Dyke also getting in front of him. He's now in P4. He gets a good run off the corner. He's going to be really chasing Jamie Dyke. He's going to be on the outside into turn 3. The number 11 versus the number 80 car. They're going to be very, very close side by side. A little rear lockup from both of them. And Logan Barnett round the outside in turn 3, lap 1, got the move done. It's pretty clean all the way through. There's 29 and the 27 bumping together. That's very, very good driving. It's Chad Lewis and the 27 car of, I think it's Leslie Hobbs. Lindsay, sorry. Apologies, still getting used to the names. Get there eventually. I think I'm doing pretty well. So far, as we're seeing the 93 of the locked on, the 623 of Chris Ireland getting it through. He was one of our leaders last week. He did very, very well as he has a move up the inside. Has he overcooked it just a little bit? No, he got it. Held that up nicely.
He got that done well. And Chris is braking there. Definitely last little late breakers in that corner, and he pulled it off nicely.
Yeah, you can see the lines that these guys are taking. Ooh, a full lock there from Harry Dodds.
Ran a bit wide there and missed the apex on that exit.
The lines taken through the corners are very similar. Keep it up the wall. Let's hit the wall, Chad Lewis. The 29 car, he's got a train of cars behind him. And he's just nicked that wall in the front left. I don't think there's going to be too substantial of damage as Logan Barnett is having a look at Mr. Blake Delaney. They're very, very close all the way down into P10.
So you can already see as well on the side of Mr. Delaney's car, he's already got some scrapes and bruises on the left side of his car, so he's had a rub with the wall already.
Yep. You can see there's a little bit of a gap sort of forming between the two packs in the field, and Chris Island is stuck behind, who is it? Harry Dodds. And Lewis. And the more that he's stuck behind them, he's not going to be able to get in front into that leading pack. And that leading pack is all the way down to P9. So it's going to be interesting as he pulls to the outside. The outside turns to the inside. He brakes late. Does he get it done? That is Logan Barnett up the inside of Blake Delaney. What a move!
Yeah, he got there. He took a bit too much curb and it nearly flipped him onto the wheel spin of death, but he actually got it pulled off. Well done.
That is some incredible driving, and he's just overtaken both of the Fishy boys in about 2 laps. So that is or 1 lap actually. So that's a really good drive from Logan Barnett to get back into the podium positions. And he's now got Darren Lobb to chase in front. This is Chris Island and Harry Dodds we're watching here. The battle for
Rod David had to pit early from P4. So he must have had a jump start or something like that. We'll try and find out that information.
That's Chris Island getting right off the back of Harry Dodds. Oh, he's had a big moment! Oof, slams into the wall. Chris Island is going to drop to the back of the field and pushing just a little bit too hard behind Harry Dodds. He's put himself in the wall, and that is no one's fault but his own.
Oh yeah, he got that bit of wheel spin off that exit and just went sideways. As you see the replay here, sitting behind Harry. Sitting there, runs a nice shallow line. It could have been the aero wash. Did he get a bump from behind Harry?
I think he just had that much speed and maybe had a bit of contact with Harry, and it just unsettled the car. And yeah, you can see the massive damage to that front end. Held the brakes nicely though.
He kept off the racing line. Well done. And he stayed out of trouble. Just unlucky there. Ran a bit wide. Or stuck behind Harry, hit the aero wash and around he went.
So Darren Lobb took the fastest lap, a 1:30.07. I don't think it was valid though.
He must have had a rub with the...
No, it was. I do apologise. It was a 0.65, so that 0.7 on my SDK live timing is correct.
Yes, it's just come through.
As we watch the boys go through turn 1.
Jason starts to settle in and get into a rhythm.
Was that a bit of a slide from Logan Barnett, or was I seeing things?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a slide there. The boys are definitely pushing.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to SRW TV once again for the V8 Supercars Super Show here on SRW TV. My name is Dano, and with me tonight in the comms box is Tyson McAvoy, with Shibby bringing our lovely producer, giving us the awesome camera angles as always. Tonight we are at the iconic Watkins Glen, a track with loads of history, and I'm sure the boys are going to love this evening. Tyson, it looks like it's going to be a good one.
Oh, Watkins Glen. Hello, everybody. Watkins Glen, wow. Fast, understeery track. Can't get much better than that for a supercar.
No, it certainly can't. I think we've been told in our little secret earpieces that tonight for both races, it's going to be a double stop. So 2 pit stops tonight because of the fuel. So strategy is going to be very, very important.
Yeah, so strategy is going to be looking pretty intense tonight. You can either do the short splash at the start or you can do the splash at the end. So I think which drivers will take which option will be interesting.
Yes, it certainly will be. The boys have been practicing all week. Of course, we have had our qualifying sessions all throughout the week on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, I believe, as well. And I think there was one on a Saturday morning early, just for a couple of Kiwis as well. I don't know if we have the results of that at the moment just yet. Currently in our practice session, and we've got Paul Guerlin up at the top doing a 45.050.
So I think our quality results were finalised on Friday night for Super 2.
Yeah.
And I think Steb Miller will be starting off pole, which will be quite interesting. And Dan Suits in P2 and P3 is Paul. I can't pronounce his name. And then Peter Pavlova in P4 and then Cowie out of P5. So we've got a really good, strong top 5, just like last week. De Bono has returned, I think, as well. So let's see if he pops up in tonight. He's definitely on the qualifying sheet. So if he joins, then it should be an interesting race.
Yes, it certainly will be. Just looking at those quali times, it was quite close between the top 3. Only about a 10th separating them. Stead Miller, of course, taking out the pole. He's been dominating this series so far. He's done a 144.769, followed by Dan Schultz, a 144.822, and Paul Guerlin with a 890. So those guys all have very, very similar pace. So we should be seeing a very close fight for the lead tonight here in the Super 2s.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see them transition that quali pace into a race pace and see if the strategy comes out with, especially with Dan, like we saw him and Stead Miller last week, how quick he was through the back of the field. See if he can hopefully come off with a bang and no mistakes off the start like last week and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, it's very easy to get into trouble here. There's not too much area for you to run off, and any point that is run off is closely met with a wall here at the Glen, as it is more commonly known by the locals. You can see everywhere that does have runoff is just, there's a wall pretty much anywhere near it. It's just seeing Cowie go around the circuit.
Yeah, they've got those high-speed corners, and then they've got a very narrow exit, except for like the last couple of corners, especially turn 1. It's going to be interesting, the lap 1, shenanigans, as we say, through turn 1 with a massive runoff there.
Yeah, so this is a lap with Mr. Andrew Cowan coming down the front stretch into turn 1. This is a quite a fun corner, actually. You can take quite a lot of curb, and then you can take a lot of exit out of turn 1. Into turn 2, the S's, turns 2, 3, 4, I believe. So there's 2, there's 3. That'll be 4. I don't know. Do we have the chicane tonight, Tyson?
I don't think we do. No, we don't.
No chicane. Some series run that chicane. It's like a bus stop chicane. We're not running it tonight, thankfully, because with that chicane, I believe, just causes way too much chaos.
Yeah, I think it's more fun without the bus stop there because you can just fly down there, and that comes a really good passing opportunity down the inside if you can get really late on the brakes and use all the runoff on the left side of the track. You know, elbows out, push someone off. But let's see.
Yeah, you certainly can. I think the bus stop chicane really kind of hinders that. It doesn't allow you to make those good moves that you really would be able to make with the straight that it is tonight.
Yeah, I haven't really done much laps on this new layout because they did update the circuit and they put a new thick curb on that bus stop. So if you go too wide through there, you hit that curb and sometimes it sends you sideways.
Jeremy Bush just having a little moment at the final corner. He'll go back into the pits. I think, no, he's going to pull over.
But that's going to be the talk, I think, as well tonight, is the pit lane entry, because it's such a high-speed last corner and a short run to the pit lane entrance. It's going to be very, very tight.
You actually see somebody locking up into the pits in the distance there. Yeah, I think you're definitely right there. I think just the way that the pit entry is, you'll see people braking just that little bit more into the corner, and it could cause some issues with some people misjudging it and possibly rear-ending them.
Yeah, so especially if they're going to be like, it's like Oran Park. If they take that slow exit on the right, it's more like a racing line. So people will be there caught unawares. I don't doubt we'll see someone spun around there today.
Yes, exactly right. So still watching Jeremy Bush. He's just parked the car and got back underway now.
Yeah, I think he did a practice start there.
This long run down the straight. That's Daniel Weaver, who we're now watching for Send It Sim Sports. It's a lovely livery that he's got. Nice, bright. I believe it's a blue, isn't it?
No, it looks pink, purple. I'm not sure.
Purple? I'm colorblind. I can't comment on colors without. Oh no, it's a purple. It's definitely a purple, or I'd want to say magenta.
Yeah.
I'm going to say magenta.
But I like that paint. You run the red paint as well. I think one of the boys from the Super 1 have that. But every time I'm looking at this livery, it just looks sick. I might have to swap over just so I can drive it.
I think you should, Tyson. I think you definitely should.
Yeah, I might have to speak to their painter and get it for my team as well.
So we've got, for some reason, we've got the top three split. We've got two fastest laps on the, is there a reason for that? What's going on there? What's going on with the standings?
Even in this little warm-up slash practice session, you know, it's good to see the boys sending it into pit lane like that, as Daniel just did, and the times, you know, reflects maybe those qualifying laps we were talking about before.
Well, it is good to practice your pit entry. It's a very important part of the race, especially here where a safety car usually isn't warranted. Of course, big thank you to Promo Department, our safety car this evening, and a big shout out to DSL Welding, the series sponsor here at SRW, and the boys at Dragonrc, who are the V8 Supercars series sponsor.
Yeah, it's a big shout out to them. We wouldn't be able to do this and have these races without our major sponsors, so big thanks to them.
As you can hear, somebody's in the pit lane. I think it was Daniel Weaver again doing a practice start. But this is Brett Taylor. You saw him drift through turn one as he comes down the back straight. It's a long straight.
Yeah, drafting is going to be key here, especially with the gear ratio. It depends which guys pick the 1000 gear ratio or they pick the 960 for the toe. It's going to be interesting.
It is, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how many of them fit in this car. In terms of fit on that straight, I mean, apologies. Especially with the draft. It's going to be quite powerful, I think.
Yeah, maybe 960 will be a good gear ratio. If I was racing here, I'd be going for a long gear ratio. I'd get the bump draft from the toe and definitely benefit away from them, plus minimise wheel spin later in the stint. But, you know, I'm sitting here in the comm box and not on track, so don't listen to me.
Just, sorry. There we go.
Got Steph finally coming out and doing a lap. with his beautiful white SRW paint on. Just having a little shakedown. I think we got 3 minutes to go.
I believe I'm going to be receiving one of those. Of course, I ran the red one the other night. Apparently, it didn't look too good. So I think I'm getting a white one being given to me.
Yeah, I think everyone's just so used to seeing the white car. Maybe it's just it needs to stay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't own Michigan, though. I'm going to have to get it. I think I'll probably buy it tomorrow and just give it a go, you know?
That's for the, I think, the truck series, that's right?
Yes, the NASCAR trucks that run on a Monday night. It's a very, very interesting series. There is a lot going on in the championship at the moment. The top 5 is very close together. But enough about the Monday nights. We're here on a Sunday night to enjoy some supercars. This is Pty Delaney, which I believe is Blake Delaney's younger brother. You can see he's got Delaney Jr. on the back.
So be coming up to show maybe his older brother how it's done.
Certainly might be, and you can see how he takes turn 1 nicely there. So it's a good run through turn 1. Quite a satisfying corner to take.
Yeah, it's a slow in, fast out kind of corner. If you get it wrong, you're definitely going to head to your lap time straight away and you'll notice the difference.
Oh, it's his son. Sorry, not his brother, his son, Pty Delaney, which makes a little bit more sense.
Well, thanks for that, Mr. Michael. And Jamie as well.
Oh, sorry, is this chat telling us off?
That's exactly what it is.
I do apologise. Thank you very much, chat. First ever race. All right, well, we'll be keeping an eye on Pty. He's about 4 seconds off the pace, so he's going to need to maybe pull something out here.
No pressure. I'll back him for this one.
He's qualified all the way down in P14. He set a lap time of a 1:46.461. So,
and he's got a fishy skin on, so another recruit for the fishy boys.
Yep, always. Always.
If there wasn't enough already.
Huge shout out to all of you viewing tonight before our Super 1s. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Super 2s. It's actually a very good series. I sometimes enjoy the Super 2s a little bit more than the Super 1s.
Well, I must say they've been action-packed, the Super 2s, and I hope tonight they, continue with this awesome racing that we've been seeing, and then the Super 1s come out and just, again, showcase the difference in skill that the boys are chasing as we see the checkered flag for our practice session, which bring us to our grid.
Yeah, so it's just hit 10 o'clock, and that will bring us to the grid.
But yes, thanks to all our viewers tuning in today. Chuck in the comments, definitely tell us who your picks are for this race, and I'll give a winky face to who I'm backing in this as well.
So they are gridding up fast. So Stead Miller, Dan Schultz, Paul Guelin, Peter Pavlovich, Mr. Andy Cowan. That is your top 5. Stead Miller is our championship leader. He is closely followed by, I believe, Paul Guelin and Daniel Schultz.
Yeah, that top 3 battle is definitely going to be tight as we keep scrolling through our grid. But my bet for this race and my underdog will be, I'm going to say, I'd say Dean. No pressure to Dean. And Cowie, definitely an underdog for a podium.
Yeah, I would love to see Cowie on a podium tonight. It would be awesome to see. As we get ready here, the lights are going to come on. As we get ready to go green here at the Super 2s.
Green flag.
And we're away here at the Super 2s, Watkins Glen. It is round 3 of the Super 2s. As Peter Pavlovich gets a good start, going too wide through turn 1. Stead Miller also got a good start, but he's already under attack by Daniel Schultz. Right on the back of Paul Guelin is Peter Pavlovich. Following him is Brad Wall and Andy Cowan. Stead Miller's had a spin. He's had a spin at the top of the hill. This could cause chaos. He's dropping down the order. I don't think it's come into contact with anyone and hinders anyone's race, but that is a big, big upset for our leader.
Yeah, he just drifted suddenly. I'm not sure if there was contact. I didn't see contact on that, but we're definitely going to check that out on the replay.
Yeah, we certainly will. Watching Kester Mack now go side by side with Greg Johnston. Sorry, it was Brett Taylor. Brett Taylor, the 134. That was a lovely move from Brett up the inside. As we're having a look at Mr. Greg Leak for Team Greg. Good old Leaky.
Yeah, that was an interesting start there. A very even start off the top 5 there. Car 22 did get a very good getaway there and got up the side of Cowie, but I think he got checked up on the top of the hill with that spin.
Yeah, not too sure what happened. We'll see if we can get a replay and see what happened to Stead Miller. At the moment, we're looking at Mr. Bradley Wall. He's defending from Daniel Weaver. He did jump into P4, and Andy Cowan was able to get that P4 back. So we're having a look now.
Yeah, I think we're still green as well, so that incident wasn't as bad as what I initially thought, which is good. Unless we're yellow. These boys seem to be a bit slow. I might have called that wrong.
Big contact with Bradley Wall. I think the safety car has been called. These guys are definitely not at racing pace.
Yes, so the safety car must be called. So we're just going to pull up a replay of the first incident with Stead and while we're on the safety car here. And as the safety cars just called them up on the back straight. Oh, was there contact there? I don't know, but he did a mega job to catch that little bit of contact. Oh
yeah,
catches
Brad just getting into him there. Oh, and that was Greg Johnston just trying to miss him, avoid him, braked, locked on the brakes. We get another action replay here. So there's Stead Miller off to the side, and it looks like he just put the power down too early with cold tires, and he got spun right around. Yeah, Bradley Wall, you could see getting into him as well. That's how he lost his front end, and he just got caught on the cat
as well.
fence. Oh, there was contact actually with Greg Johnston, and I think that was. Hang on.
It was definitely Greg, yes.
It was Greg Johnston who got into Brett Taylor. It was, I think so.
That was just Steve leaving pits. Oh, no, he had an incident on the exit of pit lane. No, he's just cruising out of pit lane and has a self-spin there. My Steph unlucky. And a bit of a shame for Bradley. He had a great start up the... he got past Cowie up the inside and then just was in the wrong place at the wrong time at the top of the hill there. But the initial catch from Stead was awesome. He just got tapped in the rear and around he went and got stuck in the fence at the top of the hill. So the Super 2s are definitely not letting down this week. A bit of an exciting start for us. And
just a little bit.
Now we can relax, take a breath. Which would be good though, because that fuel number will get shorter and shorter. Because we do say it was splash and dash for that second stop.
So you can see Ryan Barber's name is there. That's who we're watching. This is our safety car. So he's not actually running in the race. The McLaren GT4 car. Quick thank you to Promo Department for sponsoring the safety car as always.
Looks like we're going to be staying under yellow for one more lap as well. Yes. So Stead off the start. That's 2 weeks in a row. Stead Miller hasn't had really much of a good start, but as we saw last week, he's probably going to be coming out with his nice, quick, fast repair and pushing through the field.
Yeah, we have seen him do it before. He is able to push through that field so quickly. So I'm sure that he will most definitely be right on it as soon as he gets caught up to the back of the pack. I think that's why there's one more lap of safety cars, just so that a couple more people can catch up to the grid.
Yep, and the safety car has just been called into pit lane at the end of this lap, so we're going to go green, which is awesome. So a quick, short safety car here. And again, a big shout out to all our viewers who are sitting and watching. Don't forget, you can definitely jump on the YouTube, interact with us, say g'day. I'm watching the Facebook page, and I've got my YouTube up as well, so don't be afraid to chuck something in the comments. And like, share, tag your friends, get everyone involved, show and share SRW to especially iRacing. You know, we're only new, pushing up, and we're always happy to take new newcomers for new seasons going forward.
Why don't we take just a quick moment to have a look at the standings here at the in the V8 Super 2s. Now, I know we've still got an hour of race to go. But we'll have a look at the standings. I believe we can show them. If I'm correct. So here they are, the Super 2 ladder. So you can see Peter Pavlovich, apologies, is the leader by 7 points ahead of Stead Miller, followed by Daniel Schultz, Bradley Wall. Troy Dooley for Team 3 is tied with Bradley Wall for P4. Jeremy Bush, Kester Mack, Greg Johnston down in P8, Dylan Budzieni, and Andrew Lang is down in P10, but he's tied with Dylan Budzieni and I think Scott Martin. Apologies if I'm getting those names wrong.
Yeah, some close points there, especially on track. We got some tight battles, so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully these Stead as well, pushing up a mistake last week, and hopefully again he's on the back of the pack now in P16, so be definitely one to watch coming through the field.
Well, if Daniel Schultz can win this race, he might be able to jump to the front and the top of the table. So this is a very important lead that he has currently, and he'll certainly be wanting to keep it.
And as we're on board, we can hear a bit of fuel saving there, and getting ready to go green. So the fuel saving started already, which is good because you could squeeze that into a 1-stop. I'm not sure on the fuel numbers, but we have definitely heard rumours that it could be a 2-stop tonight. Looks like our safety car is entered pit lane, so it might be green flag, and I think the leader has control.
Leader certainly does. This is Peter Pavlovich on board. Sorry, it's Daniel Schultz. My apologies. I was a touch delayed. We've been informed that Greg Johnston had an incident at the back of the pack, but Daniel Schultz is leading them away. His foot to the floor, and it looks like he has caught Paul Gwelin napping just a little bit. He managed to get a great start. Paul Gwelin, followed by Peter Pavlovich, and Andy Cowan got a good one as well. Sorry, it's Stephen Martin, not Scott. Apologies, Stephen. So we're watching Greg Lee having a battle with Stephen Martin.
You can already see off the racing line, there's a bit of dirt and muck there. Greg had no grip there and had to get the position up. So quite a stable restart there as well. Not much action there with single file, which is good to see. We see Andrew as well back into P4 as he got Peter pushing for that podium spot in the KFC car.
Now Peter's on the podium. It's Mr. Cowie that's pushing for that podium as Greg Leake having to defend from Ty Delaney. He's certainly going for it. Ty here in the Supercars. I'm sure he would have had some coaching from Dad over the week, trying to get those times down.
Especially when it's his debut race. A lot of pressure to go out there and perform, but he's sitting pretty at the moment, which is good to see.
Yeah, it certainly is. Paul Gwelin is in the P3 as Peter Pavlovich goes for it. Cowie following him through, almost getting side by side. Is he going to cut to the inside? He's not. He's going to stay behind. And these guys, if they continue to battle, Daniel Schultz is going to say thank you very much and start to pull away.
Yeah, the gap there really closed up on that corner, especially as an off-cambered corner. It's very slow and very hard to overtake there unless you're up on the left-hand side, as Cowie chose the right side. But so we go on board here with Stead Miller pushing through the pack. He's in P16 at the moment. He might have gained a few positions here. He's on the left-hand side as he forces it.
Goes to the left, goes to the right. He realized he wasn't going to get the space that he needed, and into turn one, late braking, or at least later than Brett Taylor. He gets the position nice and easy, as you can see Steven Sinkovic in the background going wide. Sorry, always a bit of comedy at your expense, Steven. As Stead Miller's got a lovely run down the back straight, but you can see this battle is really starting to heat up. Cowie going for the move. You need eyes on that, as he went for the move, got covered off, maybe gone a bit too deep. He's taken a different line through the corner. He's trying to attack Paul Gwelin and keep with these three. He wants a podium. Cowie deserves a podium, I think.
He hasn't had the best of results lately, and he's pushing to try and get up there on the podium spot, which as you can see, he's sitting there watching the boys at the front, but look at this action.
Peter Pavlovich trying to make a move around the outside of Daniel Schultz. It looks like he's got the run. He's not going to get side by side. I don't think they are going to just be side by side.
Oh, Cowie with the
right-hand corner. Cowie just getting a little bit topsy-turvy into the same corner, and he spun himself round, locked those rears, and Dean Sinkovic gains a freebie. That is very hard luck for Mr. Cowan. Oh, as Peter Pavlovich and Daniel Schultz make a bit of contact. Daniel Schultz going into the wall. Paul Gwelin is going to see that and say thank you very much, and that is going to be straight to the stewards, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely contact there. Bit of argy-bargy. And Cowie, I'm going to have to put my hand up and say the commentator's curse there, because that's what I did. Oh no, there's contact there with Paul.
Another bit of contact. Paul Gwelin spinning round, your championship leader. So, this is really going to shake things up. Mr. Daniel Schultz at the moment is the person who is going to benefit from this. Stead Miller already up into P9, and now Peter Pavlovich has a lot of ground to make up. He needs another safety car.
Yep, and I think the stewards will be looking into that turn one incident there. There was definitely contact under that brake. So I see a penalty. My personal opinion is going to be saying penalty, but we'll leave it in the hands of the stewards.
So Brad Wall defending now from Paul Gwelin. That car is not looking very good. That is Bradley Wall's car. Of course, Paul's is looking quite pristine. Brad, of course, having that contact on lap one. It looks like he's had a bit of side contact as well. He's just decided to keep the car going, as here's Peter Pavlovich going around the outside of Steven Sinkovic. Is he going to be able to make the move stick round the outside? Here it is. They're going to be side by side coming into the right-hander up the hill, and that is a great move by Peter Pavlovich, but Steven is not giving it to him easy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come back at him there around the outside, but the grip just wasn't there. Good to see hard racing that, especially from our back bar, because they don't. Oh, as we see contact.
There, Kester Mack getting a little bit of contact, being pushed wide, and there's Dean Sinkovic into the wall as well.
Oh, when he comes back on the racing line, lucky there was no contact there. Good job. We're definitely going to have to find a replay of that incident, see what happened there.
A lot of mistakes happening here at the Watkins Glen. Stephen Martin up into P6. He's got Stead Miller right on his tail. And Stead Miller already up into P7. So this is going to be a pretty big drive from him if he is going to catch up to the boys in the lead.
That's right, he's got a lot of work to do and he's going to be pushing hard, especially with the guys at the front making a few mistakes, having a battle.
Pushing to the inside of Steve and Martin. They're going to be side by side. How's this for a bit of action?
Well, he's definitely going to hold that line well, rather than holding that apex. I think that's job done. Yep.
Beautiful. It's an absolute overtaking masterclass from Stead Miller. Dylan Budzieni back in P9. He's attacking Greg Leake. Dylan was a full second faster than Greg Leake on the previous lap, so I'm sure we should be seeing an overtake soon.
I think he's going to line him up down the inside here as he has a look. Is he going to outbrake? No. It's a very challenging braking zone as we saw Cowie spin there a lap before.
Greg Leaks, he makes sure to leave the space. That's some incredible sportsmanship, but he's maintained the position as well, so that's some great driving from Greg Leake.
That's why he left the door open, wide open, but he chose the racing line and the racing line held off for him, so good driving there from Greg.
And in the background now, this is Ty Delaney and Kester Mack getting into it for P10. Ty Delaney is 2 seconds slower than the rest of the field, or the cars in front and behind him. What lap time does he do? It's still about a second slower. He needs to pick up the pace, Ty. He's not performing as well as he might have hoped, but I'm sure once he gets more laps in, I'm sure it'll start to change.
That's right. For his debut race, he's pushing in the top 10 at the moment, and he's sitting strong. He's gained 2 positions, which is positive, always good. And, just a bit off the pace, but hot track conditions and maybe an unfamiliar track layout too.
Here's Paul Gwellen going for the lead of the race, and he does get that lead of the race. So maybe a little bit of damage on Daniel Schultz's car, and it could be causing him some speed loss. Dylan Budzieni has made the move, but these two are going to be fighting all through this race, and there is still another 23 odd laps still to go.
Yeah, Greg just not giving this position up. He's definitely sitting on the back of him, holding it there. See if he has a look down the inside, as we saw last time he defended. So it's Ty.
Kester Mack finally getting the move on Ty Delaney. Good move from him. Ty's going to want that position back, but I don't know if he'll have the pace to catch back up.
Yeah, he might have to play the pit stop strategy game and see what he can do in the pit stops. Maybe an undercut, overcut. There's so much to do here, especially with that safety car. Fuel saving was key. And even if he's running a few seconds off the speed, that may be saving fuel there as well.
Well, just behind him is Peter Pavlovich, who's running 2 seconds quicker than 1 second quicker than most of the guys all the way up into P8. So this is going to be possibly an overtaking masterclass from Peter Pavlovich as well. Here's Cowie having a move at Steven Sinkovic down the inside into turn 1. Here we go. Cowie has the inside line, keeps the inside line, goes wide and gets a second position as well as Brett Taylor goes deep, and that is a wonderful move from Cowie.
Yeah, that looked like it was all planned there to get the both boys in that one corner, so well done, Cowie. As we just heard over race control as well, Al, the leader of the race has just got a drive-through penalty for the incident that we saw earlier as well. So big news out there. It is a relatively long pit lane too. That was the incident on lap 6.
Yes, so, between Paul Gwellen and Peter Pavlovich.
So we did see that contact. I think that was into turn 1 as well. So we get a replay.
We're going to replay here. So Paul Gwellen really just overshot it into turn 1 and just spun him right round.
Yeah, that's the contact there. Unfortunate. So we'll see when he's going to take that pit stop, take his drive through, especially in line laps into the race is a bit inconvenient, but he was going to push on. We'll see where he finishes, and that promote Daniel up to the P1.
As there's Stead Miller doing a 1:45.846. He's lapping 3/10 quicker than the leaders.
Yeah, it's a purple time. They're the fastest lap of the race so far, so he's pushing hard.
He's pushing really hard, and in front of him now is Jeremy Bush. He pulls to the inside. He's got Jeremy Bush. Will he be able to get Mr. Brad Wall in the same corner? Not quite.
Brad's got a bit of damage as well, so that straight line speed isn't looking good.
Yes, Brad Wall, I think, should have gone in under the safety car, just taken the fast repair, because that car is not looking very good out on track. As here's Kester Mack going for a move on Greg Leake. Greg Leake holding the inside into the next corner, maintaining his position. That's a great defensive maneuver from Team Greg driver.
Held his line very well there.
Kester Mack not done yet. But here's Stead Miller out the inside. Now they leave enough room for each other.
Yeah. The door was left open for him.
Yeah, they're still side by side. Mr. Brad Wall on the inside to Stead Miller, going to make a move round the outside at the top of the hill. He just might.
We've got that two-way action again.
Who has the better exit? They come into the next corner, still side by side. This is incredible driving in the V8 Super 2s as Stead Miller finally gets out in front. He's up into P4.
And as
Paul
you can
Gwelin
see
taking
as
that
well,
drive through.
Yep, taking his drive through.
So Stead Miller back up into the podiums.
Yeah, it's best to get that drive through penalty out of the way as soon as possible and get back out on the track.
Yes, that's very true, Harry. Harry in our YouTube comments telling us that Stead Miller should be Div 1. I think, based on the masterclass that we keep seeing, I think that's probably true.
I agree, but you know, there's nothing better than having a fast guy in your split, and if you can beat that guy on track strategy or anything like that, then it shows that there's heaps of potential. If there's just a medium pack spread around, it's not as good. Instead, if he goes to split one, that's just another position he's going to take off you, Mr. Dodds.
Yeah, in saying that, though, Stead is almost a second quicker than both Daniel Schultz and Daniel Weaver. So this is very, very close. We'll get the intervals now. We're seeing Ty Delaney, Paul Gwelin, and Greg Leake having a good battle. I'm sure Paul Gwelin is going to want to get past as soon as he can, holding the inside line into that corner.
That's what I point out as well, our movers and shakers of the race so far. We've got Daniel Weaver in P2, he's up 7 spots, so well done to him. And Stephen Martin, who's in P6 at the moment, he's up 11. And of course we've got a few guys who've dropped a few positions. We got drivers in pit lane, so pit lane is starting to line up and we're on lap 12. So we've got 3 drivers from the top 3 who've taken their pit stops now. It looks like Greg's pulling off to the pit lane as well as he takes that really slow inside line. And I think he does, yes. So the pit window must have been opening early. So maybe some guys want to take the different strategy of taking the splash early and doing the long stint now. Or maybe we'll see Daniel take the long stint and the splash later. Because we know it's going to be a 2-stop race.
Yes, especially, yeah, with the 2-stop, it really opens up the strategy between the teams. It could very much so be an interesting race. I'm just getting the track numbers up, or the corner numbers up, so I know which is which.
I think we're on board with Dean Zinkovich just in P10 at the moment. Pushing up, he's up 1 position, and his last lap was a 1:48.8, which is, he's doing quite good after his couple of spins we saw early. We might try and find that action replay of Dean of his spin early.
Oh, I'm gonna get water.
So this is Dean's spin he had early in the race, and he's crawled back through, and he's just a self spin, unfortunately. Looks like he just powered on, got onto the curb, ran it wide, and he parked it there, let all the traffic go through. But back up to P10. So we got Stead, Miller, Jeremy, Dylan, and Peter all pitting now. So this pit lane is lighting up, and Daniel did stay out as well. Again, one more lap. So strategies are definitely varying. The undercut, I'm not sure how powerful it's going to be.
Oh, there's a lot of people in the pits.
It's going to be interesting who comes out in front. Cowie's up in P4 now, so a nice crawl back from him. Of course, he hasn't made his compulsory, or it's not compulsory, but his pit stop yet.
Yeah, Cowie's having a look at Ty Delaney just in front of him. He's got a 10th on him. Is he going to be able to make the move? They come down onto the straight. They're going to be side by side all the way down the back straight into the outer loop is what it's called, turn 5.
Cowie very late on the brakes there, gets the move done.
Great
up to P3.
Great move from Cowie. He does love driving these V8 Supercars.
Going to look at the Facebook chat. Here we go, let's pull it up. Debut race. Yes, I agree. Definitely, he's definitely doing great for his debut race, pushing hard. And, he's held his own. And, for a young fella, following his father's footsteps on the sim, well done. End of the race right now, Ty's in P3. You know what, that'd make my job 10 times easy. Guys, check a flag, let's go. Beers on me. But yes, it's good to see all the support here, guys. So definitely for Ty and the Fishy Boys. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I know we got another race coming up after this, so don't forget, you got to stay tuned for that as well. But awesome to see the support. It's great to see the community, especially around iRacing. Even if it's just for an hour on a Sunday afternoon, everyone's coming in, having a laugh, and watching these guys duke it out. As we see Daniel in the pit lane now, and I think Andrew as well. So it'll be interesting to see where these boys file out into the pack of the rest of the guys who are in pit lane.
And some of them coming out of the pit lane. Daniel Schultz right into the thick of it. He's getting right there involved with a lot of the cars. Apologies. My SDK is very, very behind.
There we go, I'm back live. Oop, sorry, I was actually on mute just then, and I was calling and talking to myself. As I was saying, Ty is up into P2, so we can call the race now. Wave the checkered flag. A young fella with an I rating of 932 battling out with these guys. Some of these guys in here, like Andrew, he's got 1800 I rating. Stead Miller's, 1600, and he's out here in P2, yet to pit, but showing these guys that he can be up the front leading the race too. So good on him.
Yes, so here's Daniel Schultz in P4. He's got Daniel Weaver in front of him, but behind him is Brad Wall, Stephen Martin, Jeremy Bush, all fighting together.
Yeah, these guys are the last two pitters are in pit lane now, so the field will commence as normal. And I think Daniel is in P2, and both Daniels P1 and P2 right now.
So it is a Daniel P1 and P2, you are correct. Bradley Wall into P3, but he hasn't pit yet either. You can still see the damage to that car, just not able to pit.
Yeah, it's like he didn't take his faster pair in his pit stop, because I think he has taken his pit stop. It's showing on my time, but yeah, he didn't take a faster pair there, so might be saving it for later in his bank, or he forgot to bring it, or his crew chief has left it behind, which would be quite interesting.
Stephen Martin going up the inside of Bradley Wall, unable to get the late braking done. That lovely KFC livery.
Yeah, did someone say KFC? Someone had to say it, and it was me. So we're on lap 15 now, just about halfway through this race, and we've had so much excitement, you know, as we still pushing it through. The pit stops are just done. One more to go for these guys out front. Who's going to blink first? Just like before, as we're watching Daniel fight for the lead against Daniel in car 2. And we got a pack of 3 behind that as well, so if the mistakes out in front, these guys will happily come out
Very, very close
that
here.
as well.
Mr. Daniel Weaver has gotten in front of Daniel Schultz. Oh, getting very close to the wall.
Very close to that wall there. It was very sideways.
Getting very close to that wall. And into turn 1, here's Stephen Martin having a go at Bradley Wall. Does get the move done this time of asking. Into turn 1, that was a great move. He finally got it done, and he can start to attack now and try and get involved with Daniel Schultz and Daniel Weaver.
Yep, try and catch up to that battle he was involved in early in the race, and he's got a lot of ground to make now. Instead's dropped back down to 16th. He's in the battle at the moment, looking down the inside. He gets back the job done, back into P15 at the moment. But yeah, he's dropped down the pack. Not sure what's happened there. We'll try and find a replay and see what happened there. But yeah, Stead Miller. So we've just heard over comms that he might have had a penalty in pit lane. He was in pit lane for 32 seconds. And that does sound like a penalty of some sort. Unsure. We'll try and find that out.
Sorry, unfortunately I missed that one, so thanks for catching that one.
Yeah, we can't find that out. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that. Stead's back in P15 at the moment, pushing on. So as we see. Did someone say KFC, Mr. Whiting? I did. I think it's your shout, bro. All the fishy guys in the chat have requested some fucking KFC.
Zinger box.
Excuse my French.
Yeah, Zinger box is on Michael
KFC.
Whiting then.
Yes, Zinger box. Oh, I have 2, thank you. And
yeah,
some
thanks, Michael.
Chicken.
I'll have mine tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I think you got to buy the podium.
I think behind the wheel of a NASCAR, I think KFC is quite on brand, is it not?
Yes, definitely. Let's see if we can get some discounts for you, Michael.
Here is Daniel Schultz now, having a go at Daniel Weaver. He pulls to the inside. They're going to be side by side on the way into turn 4. Will they be side by side? No. So the early braking from Daniel Weaver trying to get a better run, and Daniel Schultz just covers off the run very nicely. And Stephen Martin is right up close and personal now. He's right in this battle for P1.
Only took 1 lap for him to catch up to this pack, so well done to them. Steffi's pulled into the draft, and especially with the respect these boys are giving. You know, they're going too wide, they leave the room. It's great to see. We know in Super 1 there's a lot of drivers out there that don't do that, but well done to these guys, putting on a good show here. Still, I thought he was going to have a look there. Stephen in the back there, he's opened the door, but he ended up pulling out of it. It's now turning into a 5-car battle here. Wow. So we got a 5-car train here, and everyone knows the Watkins Glen. It's, you know, you get into the toe, you can't really lose the draft. You see these boys have really kind of broken off to the some of the cars behind. You know, to P6 is an 11-second gap to P1. So these guys have definitely started to field out and branch out a little bit. But yes, they're in this little draft train of supercars, especially with a car with a little bit of damage in the middle there. Bradley Wall there with a bit of damage. So
Apologies, having a little coughing fit.
well, as long as you're all right. It has been action-packed this race, so as we see as well, check up on
Peter Pavlovich. No, that's Stephen Martin going for the move on Daniel Weaver into turn 5. Up the inside, just getting side by side, and not able to get the get the move to stick.
You must be thinking about that chicken, that KFC chicken.
Well, it certainly won't leave you with sticky fingers, that's for sure.
As we see Cowie, I think, just got that position
On Kester Mack, but Kester Mack is coming right back at him. In it to turn 6 now.
Just good between battles all over the field at the moment.
There is a big battle up the front for P1. Everyone is involved. The whole top 5 is involved in that front field battle.
Yep, it's a draft train, that's for sure, up the front. And only a few laps ago, they were spread out by about 5 seconds, and now it's really tightened up. It's only about a 2-second gap between the top 5. So we see that both the Daniels still in P1, P2. Followed closely by Steve. He won't want to sit there for too long in P3, and you know, especially with this, boys, he's past the 2 guys behind, Bradley and Jeremy, so he's pushing quite hard. As we see Dean have another spin. Oh no. So we just get a nice action replay here. Goes a bit deep, gets the curb, runs off, gets on the power, runs off of that little bit of exit there, and has a self spin. But pushes on, keeps going. I think he's going to go into pit lane. Bradley Wall seems to be getting past here. Around the outside. Oh, we see a lock brake in front, up in front. As we see the top 3, the top 4 having a battle here. And the job's done. Jeremy's up past. Well done.
A great move up the inside. Brad needs to get that car repaired sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it seems to be hurting his straight line a bit, and that's why he's dropped out to 3 spots here.
We've come to 22 laps to go, as here we are back on this lead battle. It's spread out just a little bit. Jeremy Bush having to get past Brad Wall. They've just split a little bit from the front 3, but this is a battle that is going to go right to the very end. Stead Miller has a lot of ground to make up, and if Daniel Schultz can stay just in this top 3, he's going to have a substantial lead going into next week.
That's right, and that's what you got to think about in the big picture as well with these guys. You know, where are you going to be sitting in the championship? Is it worth taking the risk, or should I be holding on to my position?
Yes, definitely, but I think knowing Stead Miller, he is going to want to get through the field as quick as he can. But he's a patient driver, Stead. He will wait and bide his time, make the move in the right spot, and I think he knows that he's going to end up making that move at the top, or at the front straight, as we cut back to this lead battle here. Sorry, back to Stead Miller.
He goes around the outside. That's a very nice move by Stead. Well done. Around the outside. As he's pushing through, you know, he made a mistake early, and he's trying to make up for it like he did last week. That's probably one thing, as we all know, some things in your pocket you've got to work out, and maybe that's something Stead can work on for his future races, you know. Fixing those starts, coming off, and pushing on for that championship fight. Now, as you see this front pack here back at it again, they had a little bit of a pause moment, and now they've reheated again, as we see Daniel pushing onto the back of Daniel Schultz. And he seems to be under the pump.
It is a bit confusing, but he's going to have a look up the inside. The inside does turn to the outside. He's going to have a look around the outside, Daniel Weaver of Daniel Schultz. Not really a place where you can pass on the outside. And Stephen Martin is wanting to get involved now. The number 11 car. Here it is, the move.
There's a late peek under there, has a look down the inside of the up, ducked him, Racing's rear. Couldn't get it done. It's a very high-speed corner, but there's a lot of runoff as we see Schultzy take a lot of runoff there. Kisses the apex, but is this a pit entry I see? It is. So they're coming into pit lane and contact in the pit lane. So here we go, an undercut. This could be on.
Possible undercut, that's for sure. Stephen Martin and Daniel Weaver going for the undercut. I
So the
think
strategy
it's
game
probably
is
a
on.
good strategy.
Yes, especially when you got the other car following you. You don't want to be out there by yourself because that tow, it's very powerful, it's very valuable, especially at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, those two, even though they're not on the same team, still working together as Paul Gwelin is going to have a look at Dylan Budzieni down the main straight. My racing just crashed.
So he's on board, he goes up the inside of the car, AAA car. Side by side. In the braking zone, job done, well done. Paul's having a quite relaxed race at the moment. Sitting in P5. So we're back on with the other car, Daniel Weaver. I think he's just come out of pit lane and we've got a train of cars. He's got his lights flashing. Telling the boys, get out of the way. Oh, as he cuts across him. He does run wide. I think he hit the grass there and it's a big contact with the wall.
Big hit against
Is that
the wall.
Dean again? I think it was Dean. And there's two cars involved and I hope there wasn't an impact. Oh, and yes, it is Greg Johnson involved in the other car. No. So, you're going to have to rewind, have a replay and see what happened to Dean here. He gets on the grass.
Just both of them just went way too hot into the corner.
I think he's
And
just
they
grabbed that
both
grass and he's just locked up and he just couldn't pull it up as
both
we
just topping each other.
with the tandem dancing of hitting the wall there and shaking what they've got. I think Dean's getting a bit too much TV time for the wrong reasons tonight, but as we're back on with our leader, he's pushing out a nice gap, 1.3 second gap, and then there's a 5 second gap to P3 and Peter. And also, guys, the guys who are watching, a big shout out to everyone who's watching. This is our Super 2 race of our...
Big moment there from Daniel Weaver down in P13. Stephen Martin is able to get in front. We know there is still one more stop to go after this for the leaders. Was there a bit of contact there?
I think he was giving our crowd a nice wave as he drifts it into turn one.
I think he's done that all on his own.
It's a good show. He's pulled it up sideways. Gets a nice exit. Loses one position. But yes, everyone in the stream, don't forget, like, share, comment. We've got another big Super 1 race coming up. This is our Super 2 race. I think we've got about 10 laps to go in this, so much action to come.
Yes, those last 10 laps is really where it counts. So Daniel Schultz still needs to jump into the pits. Jeremy Bush is starting to catch him at a rapid rate as he does actually come into the pits. In saying that, so that's why Jeremy was catching him so quickly. And this is going to be a big one. So Peter Pavlovich as well into the pits, as well as Daniel Schultz.
Yeah, we just got to watch this rejoin because I think it's going to be very tight on this rejoin. These boys are going to be pushing hard, especially with those earlier on battles as we see. Is that Dean again?
They get out of the way.
Steve? That was Stefan, or Steve, sorry, pushing, making a little mistake in front of our lead pack. So this rejoin is going to be really close. And of course, the run up the hill, you're going to have the momentum on the track. If you're leaving pit lane, you're going to be a bit short-steamed.
So Daniel Schultz is on the pit exit, and he does come out ahead of the boys. Ty Delaney is still out in front. There is a car between them, and in front of that, there is a 3-second gap to Daniel Schultz in front. So
see Cowie and Keston Mack having a fight here. I think Cowie holds position. So these boys are yet to pit. Cowie's up to P3. But yes, he has to make that last pit stop.
Well, if they run long enough and work together, they might be actually able to come out in still within the top 10. I think I'm having some loading errors in tyre racing. Oh no, it's loading now.
So we see Delaney and Ty here, so right back. Ty hasn't done his stop yet, but we're on board with him for a, as he's sitting amongst our leaders. I think he gives the room there, no. So I think he wants his KFC. So Mr. Michael, he's trying to chase that KFC order that you're picking up for us, that we're expecting after this race. So let's go on board with Ty for a lap. Dunno, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, he's ran wide.
He has run wide, and there's Daniel Weaver just squeezing through, trying to keep up with Stephen Martin in front. There's about a 1.5 second gap. The car in front. And Peter Pavlovich is also trying to attack Brad Wall. He's about 4 seconds out from that attack. I'm sure he's going to get there very shortly. 3 seconds out, apologies.
We got Cowie as well now, our race leader. And I think he is the last one who hasn't pitted yet. So it'll be interesting to see where he slots back in as well. So everyone else is pitted except for Andrew and Ty. So Daniel's back out in the lead. It's the even though he's P2, he's leading our race. Oh, he's coming right on the back, get the draft. He's got a brand new car, so he's finally got that car fixed, the car 22. Looks nice and shiny on the front. He's got his hood as he gets past the Ty there. Onto the back straight. That draft is very powerful when you have a hood now, so he definitely was saving that fast spare for this last stint. And now he seems to have a lot more car performance too, because he's putting the pressure right on Daniel. So he definitely was lacking in that performance, and he was lucky to stay on the back of it and still in the hunt for the podium, and definitely maybe even a race win. See how much he's on. He's right on the back now, looking for the draft. Pulls out to the left side, but no room.
Yeah, none at all. Brad, of course, finally getting that car fixed up and ready to go, and he is now well and truly within this fight.
Yeah, we got 7.5 laps to go, so he's definitely on for these last podium spots as we see Cowie, our leader, into pit lane. Yeah, let's see how much fuel Cowie's got to take on exit to see where he feeds out into this pack. So he's had a lot of pace. He hasn't hit his pit box yet, pulling in now. As there we are, see our leader's just about to fly past. So he's going to feed into this pack, I say around probably the back end of the top 10. He's in 9th, 10th. So yeah, Cowie's a bit far down. So his strategy with that self-spin early was a bit unfortunate for him. He didn't get that second safety car like he probably would have wanted. But as we switch back to our podium fight, so Bradley Wall around the outside. Both lines work through here because it opens up to the next corner, which would be left-hander. So as we see him around the outside, he's going to hold it. Oh, too wide action. He gets him done.
Very, very close to each other. Bit of blinking from Daniel Weaver. And he's been done by Bradley Wall. Bradley Wall up into the podium positions here on Super Sunday.
Yeah, that's well done from him. He's up 4 positions into the podium spot now, and he's charging forward to get P2. And Stephen Martin's up 15 position from the start of the race, so he's having a great drive as well.
I don't see Stead Miller on the leaderboard anymore. I think he may have actually retired.
Yeah, Stead Miller's 16th at the moment.
16. I'm just blind.
As we see the front runners now trying to feed into that pack. We got only 6 laps to go in Super 2, Action Pack Supers 2. Don't forget we do have a Super 1 race after this. And don't forget to like, share, comment, tell us who your favourite is for the next race. We'll see the other KFC car, Peter, and Daniel shoots now. P1 sitting there nice. Dragon FC, or RC, sorry. He's set out a nice gap.
Yeah,
4 seconds, 4.3 seconds, yes. And he's broken that toe, which is very important.
4.1 seconds to to Stephen Martin behind. It's a fairly good gap.
Yep, so the fuel numbers for these boys, again, we saw in race 1 that some of the guys were very, like I'd say, they took a lot of gambles with their fuel numbers, and some of the boys had to take the splash and dash. So hopefully we don't see that again, because he does have a really big gap, but he did take that early pit stop as well.
And Stephen Martin up 15 positions as well. So an incredible drive for the Century Motorsport driver.
Yep, he's pushing hard, and to be up there in the second position, pushing for a win.
Yeah, he might be able to get it if he continues with some good pace, but that gap is starting to get a little bigger.
That's right, Sean, I see your comment there. Harry Dodds, let's go. He's in the Super 1 race. Only about 15 minutes until we see that action. Hopefully Harry has a much better race than he has in the previous pass. As we're just watching this battle here with Paul.
So we're going to be watching Paul Goylan for a little bit.
This is the back end of the top 10 as well. I think he's going to pit.
He is going to jump into the pits, so we'll be able to see how far he drops back. Paul Goylan started in the podium and has dropped down.
This could be for a penalty. Maybe he did speeding in lane or something, because he definitely is taking a third pit stop. So an unscheduled pit stop maybe.
Well, he's going into his pit box. So could this be just a late splash and dash?
Yep, he's being held there. As we see, Andrew's now gone past.
It's a penalty, yes, it's a penalty.
So it's a bit unfortunate. He was definitely up in the spot in the podium, on for a fight. He's down now 8 positions. As Greg and Stefan get past now. Steve. So yeah, he's got maybe a stop and hold there. So it's a bit unfortunate for his race. He had a good race there at the start. As he's now released. He's down now to P15. Stead Miller's still in P16, so his race is now done. Won't see that push hard drive from last week. Now this is the top 5 battle. So it's always good to see these boys. Everywhere we look tonight, we've seen awesome pack battling. These guys are at the back of the pack. Top 5, Jeremy, as we're right on board. This is a great shot, one of my favourite great shots. He's sitting on the mirror.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot on the mirrors of the car. Getting a nice look at the front wheels.
We've got 28 to 31 laps as well, so not long to go now until the end of the race. So these guys, we're trying to get these positions done. He's up 1 spot from his starting position as well. He started P6, so he's up to P5. He's trying to get the Daniel in front. And that beautiful purple car, or pink car. And Peter's getting that stuck in that 2-car draft there. As he pulls out to the outside, doesn't go for the pass, sits there and holds. Try to capitalise on maybe a mistake from these boys. Oh, we see a lock-up. I think he held it on there, ran a bit wide, but this, we got a 2-car battle here. Top 5 positions. As we still see the leaders have got that gap now. It's just stretching even more out in front. So he's definitely got a nice 4-second gap there. And now Brad Wall sitting behind. Oh, look at this damage.
Wow,
still.
Dean Sikovic has got a lot of damage to that car, but he's making it work. He's going to have a look at Brett Taylor down the straight, going into the outer loop of turn number 5, sorry. down the back straight. I can't actually see what's going on here.
We can see a car off in the background. I think he's smoking the background, that car behind. I'm not sure who it is. He's got engine smoke.
Doesn't matter who it is. It's Paul Gwirlin, Stead Miller. Neither of those guys, but that was a great move from Dean Sinkovic. As here is Peter Pavlovich for P5, our championship leader. Is he going to be right under the attack from Jeremy Bush? He is. He's going to take the outside line, then go to the inside, but that is the racing line, and it looks like he'll have the move done. But the draft is going to be right with Jeremy Bush.
Yeah, well, I saw Jeremy go for the over and under there.
There's 2 laps to go after this.
Yeah, Jeremy definitely was going to go for that over and under. Gets the draft down the back straight, pulls down the inside, and he's going down the inside. He's going to hold it up there. Don't forget that it opens up to the left hand of the next corner, so it's going to be interesting to do this as he holds on. Holds on to that outside. Well done. Wow. And that gap out of front has now dropped to 3 seconds, so 1 second in 1 lap. So hopefully Daniels is in saving fuel as we flip back to Greg Leake and the battle for P11. Stephen looks down the inside. He's got a nice clean car. Again, we've seen him in the water a few times tonight. And he pulls off the move down the inside again. Great respect from these 2 drivers.
Yeah, look at this. Stephen Sinkovic and Greg Leake, 2 good friends. But once they're on the racetrack, friendships are out the window.
Yep, you're here for battling. Doesn't matter if you're battling for last position or you're battling for first. You're out there to have a good time. Get in front of him and beat your mate.
Yes, it's bragging rights really once you're in the middle of the pack. And the person who does have bragging rights at the moment is Stephen Sinkovic over Greg Leake. As they come through turn number, I'm going to say that is turn number 7. But it's not.
Oh, he runs a bit wide there. He's left the door open again.
Turn number 8 and turn number 9. They will be going side by side into turn 10. No, they won't. Stephen Sinkovic just in front through turns 10 and 11 down the front straight.
Greg just gave him a lot of room there, so well done to Greg. These guys, 1.5 laps to go as they start their 30th lap. And he's looking in the background. I think we see Dean in the background showing off his hood. So well done to these boys. Putting on a show in the Super 2.
All wide from Stephen. Stephen goes wide. Greg Leake, does he get a better run through the corner? Will he have the draft off the S's? It's very, very powerful draft through the S's, especially on the iRacing service. I know I've been pulled from about half a second behind to almost on top of somebody just through the S's. Greg Leake sitting right behind Stephen Sinkovic. Is he going to have a lunge at him into turn 5? Just has to back out of it. Here's Peter Pavlovich. Peter Pavlovich now going for P4 as they come onto the final lap now. Is Peter Pavlovich going to have a look into turn 1?
You can see that white flag being waved. Now.
Yeah, the white flag is out as Peter Pavlovich trying to get a better exit. Goes to the outside, trying to get the better run through the corner. He is right on the back of Daniel Weaver. He's going to have to feather that throttle just a little bit to make sure he doesn't make contact. They come through turn 4 now, onto the back straight. He is right up the back, maybe a little bit of contact going on. He has to pick a side to go. Peter Pavlovich into turn 5. He chooses the outside. Is he going to make it work?
He's held off there. Well done. It's a very hard place to pass there because it leaves you on the offside of the track. But these boys aren't finished yet. Half a lap to go. As you see, the podium looks about pretty solid there. Kester Mack. Is that Daniel? He does get that position, I think, as well. Down the inside. The door was open, wide open, locks a brake. Gets the job done well. but he's going to have the outside line for the next corner. If these guys keep battling, Cowie might get up here and snake a spot. Oh, well done to the boys. Little bit of sideways action. He's going to have a really poor run off the exit. Lifts the door open again. He's going to have a look down the inside. It's going to be under brakes. Oh, well done. Pulls it up nicely, but he does lock a brake. Gets a bit squirrely off the exit. He's having a lot of trouble with that traction. As we see Cowie pushing. Oh, no, he's hit the grass. Kept it off him, though. Well done. Well, that was close. But we do see our leaders taking the checkered flag. So a big congratulations to Daniel Schultz taking the P1. And Stephen taking P2 and Bradley War P3. Well done. What an action-packed race. But, oh, Cowie ended up coming home in P9, so well done to Cowie. A bit unfortunate, he had a pretty slow start, made a mistake, but he's pushed on to come home in P9. And the crowd favourite for tonight, I bet, Ty. Well done to him. Coming home, top 10 finish for his first race. That's not a bad job. Well done. All the Fishy boys watching, big shout out to you guys. Well done. We're going to get these guys in quickly for an interview, our podium, so just stand by. Pull this up. Just stand while we're trying to get our podium up here. I don't know, can you get these boys in here for us?
So here is our podium. They're all in the room right now. We'll start with Daniel Schultz, our race winner. Had a pretty good start and was able to drive it home. Daniel, were you ever in doubt during that race?
I was at some points when I did the long stop at the start. I thought, oh no, maybe I made a mistake because I got past, and well, you know, everything went to hell in a handbasket real quick behind me as far as I was aware. The spotter I had with me was letting me know all that. So, you know, everything's always up in the air. It's good to bounce back after Belle Isle.
Definitely was a lot of battling behind you. It was a 5-car battle, a draft train up all the back straight for that middle section. So well done on your podium and your win.
Thanks, Matt. Really do appreciate that.
Do you just want to quickly give your sponsors a shout out? Just got to get these interviews done so quick.
Not a problem. Yeah, mate. Big shout out to DSL Welding Service, Corp IT, Dragonrc, Above and Below Stump Grinding, Tree Minded, Mod Tint, Racing with Autism Australia, ABC Transport, AA Designs, and I just want to say a big thank you to After Dark Sim Racing for chucking me in this lethal weapon that I got here tonight. And yeah, big shout out to Dragonrc again, just as my personal sponsor. Just yeah, this one goes out to all those guys that never thought I'd make it, and I finally got a win. So W's tonight, mate.
It's well done.
Go enjoy the bubbly, mate. So we'll move on to Stephen Martin, up 15 positions from his starting spot, finishing second for Century Motorsport. That must feel almost like a win, Stephen.
Yeah, no, it was really happy with that. I was away during the week, so didn't get to qualify at all. Literally got home this afternoon and got to do like half-hour practice before this. So I just want to say thanks to my teammate Pav, because he kind of carried the team a bit this week in having a good setup ready to go to be able to kind of jump in and do it and miss a bit of action this week. So yeah, a bit of action at the start. Was a bit crazy, but got through that without any damage and just tried to chip away. It was good battling there. Love all the guys in here. Give heaps of respect. Really clean. Good racing side by side everywhere. We're all but rubbing door handles, but nobody's killing each other. So it's really good action with the boys out there.
Yeah, that's right. It was great battling out there. Heaps of respect, especially in the Super 2 boys. It's room here, room there, and it's good to see. So well done in your P2.
Cheers, thanks guys.
If you got any sponsors as well, man, you want to thank, just chuck them.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks to KFC, Lake Edge, Fuchs Oils, Madcore Computers, Fluron Studios, and HRS for helping out with all the gear. Special thanks to Pav and all the boys with Century Motorsport helping out along the way. And thanks to you guys, Race Control, broadcast, admin, everybody, really enjoying this league. It's been heaps of fun. So thanks for all you do as well.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you very much, Stephen. Finally, Mr. Brad Wall on the podium, mate. How does
Hey,
it
guys.
feel?
Yeah, good. Good. It's been a long time coming.
You had an interesting strategy that race. You didn't take the fast repair under safety car, or I don't think you took it either in the first stop.
No.
And what was the plan there?
Okay, I felt fine, so I just had it unticked and didn't think to tick it. But yeah, I used it in the second stop though. But yeah, it wasn't much strategy. I just pitted when I thought I should.
Go out there,
Not
drive
worked
it,
out.
and send it. And it seemed to work, mate. So definitely well done on the podium.
Thanks. Thanks.
Any sponsors that you want to get across? We've got to quickly move this along. The
Yeah,
Super Ones are starting quite shortly.
I'd just like to thank Chris Cross and their sponsors. I'm not too familiar with them. I'm not up here too often, so remembering them's a struggle. So I'm sorry for that, Chris Cross's sponsors, but thank you anyway.
Excellent. Well done on the podium, boys, and great racing out there. We'll all see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, we're going to go to
Thank you.
a short little ad break. Stick around though, because we do have the Super Ones broadcast, our main event, up in just a little while. Stay with us, and we'll see you shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to SRW TV. Here, once again, at Watkins Glen for the Super 1 Series. Currently at practice for the Super 1 race here on our Super Show this evening. We've got an additional driver into the comms box, Mr. Andrew Cowan. Your average sim racer.
Yeah, it was a bit average tonight, buddy. Had a good
You were up
start
in the-
then, and then I turned, buddy. It was really hard to see your braking markers out there. When you're riding behind a car, it's really hard to see your braking markers, and I think I went a little deep, or thought I had, got a bit hard on it, and sort of crossed it up and spun it round, and got a little bit of help just to rotate me around the rest. But, it wasn't anyone else's fault but mine. I got the car sideways. But, could have been a bit better, buddy, but I'm here now, so I get to talk about the guys that are really quick, not us average Joes. Back in split 2.
Speaking of them being very quick, look at those times. There is absolutely nothing in it tonight. They are all within a second of each other, all the way down to P16 almost. We've had our qualify. That was our practice session. We're going to get into the race just a little moment. Blake Delaney lines up on pole. Jamie Dyke, Logan Barnett, Michael Whiting, David Kirby, Darren Lobb, who has been dominating the last couple of rounds. Bruce Tanek, Lindsay Hobbs, Alex Court, and Harry Dodds rounding out the top 10. Following him is Stephen Lawrence, David Coleman, Nathan Gore, and Alex McManus is the last driver who was able to put in a lap as we are getting ready to get underway for the final time here at Watkins Glen on this fine Sunday night. A little interesting thing on this Sunday, if not to draw anyone away from the stream, but shortly after the stream, if you guys want to head outside, have a look at your moons. It is a supermoon tonight. It is also a blood supermoon, so it's a lunar eclipse tonight as well. A little bit of a fun fact.
All right, the lights are up, Dano. Get ready to call the start. It's going to be awesome.
I'm
action
always
tonight,
ready to call the start. We're on board with Lindsay Hobbs. 5 red lights, and we are away here at Watkins Glen. Again, not a good start for the 307 car. Going down the grid, he's being overtaken. You can see there's lots of start. They're 3 wide into turn 1, and there's chaos all the way down. The number 81, that's Harry Dodds. He has had a spin. He
cracker start
too. Lindsay Hobbs up into P7, and there is a massive train of cars going for that lead. It's Blake Delaney, Jamie Dyke, Michael Whiting, a fishy 1, 2, 3. That is beautiful sight to see. It's actually quite satisfying. Following them, Logan Barnett, Darren Lobb, Bruce Tanek, and back down to Lindsay Hobbs. Lindsay Hobbs, yes, who was sitting just a little further behind. And Jamie Dyke has overtaken into the lead. This is going to be a fishy 1, 2, 3 as it stands. And this is certainly a race on our hands, Cowie.
Yeah, look, Lindsay Hobbs up 1 spot. David Kirby, that wheel spin off the line, that's put him back 3. Harry Dodds had a blinder and then just got the car, when the rear of the car gets a little bit too far around Tyson and you just can't catch it.
Yeah, that's right. He got a ripper of a start, and that's one thing he was concentrating on. The last few races he's had really bad starts, and then last week he had a good one. This week again he had a ripper, and then turn 1, right out sideways, into the fence. Unlucky, Harry.
Well, look, there's been plenty of action out there. I know there was heaps of action in the Super 2s, and we had one safety car. I was hoping for a second one, but it didn't happen. But there you go. But look, these guys are supremely fast around here. You'll see times down into the 45s. I think we had a couple of guys get into that. So yeah, but that's it. Jamie Dyke will be happy with that lap number 1, so he's clear right at the front and already out to a couple of second lead.
But there's still absolutely nothing in it all the way down to the back of the grid. This is all the way down to P almost 15. Once again, there is no gap. This is still anyone's game.
I was saying
guys
before,
all love this track.
Yeah, I was saying before to you, Dano, that I really struggled in the toe to be able to see my brake markers. So you can see here the guys sort of trying to pop out. Even when you got up the inside of the car into that straight, you're normally looking for the the big blue water tubs as your braking marker, and instead you got to look for the crest of the hill. So, but I know that's what caught me out in the end. I couldn't see my brake marker, and I suppose you're just going to try and pick a couple others.
The 623 car having a look round the outside of the number 52 of him in front, Stefan Lawrence. And then up the inside through turn number 6. Sorry, that's turn
we
7.
saw the Hornet car go around in the background as well, so hopefully no one come into contact with him. That's one of my favourite liveries of the track tonight.
Late braking Chris Island, he does get the move done on Stefan Lawrence. A great move there. And here is Alex McManus up the inside of the 66 car of Darren Crosby. Does he get the move done? A little wobble from both cars. Alex McManus jumps to the inside to try and avoid that. Matthew Mitz into the pits there, you can see on your screen. Lindsay Hobbs is driving very, very well. The number 022, David Kirby chasing him. We saw him get not the best start.
Did you guys hear any call over the radio for a request to tow there? That might be a rear of the grid start for the next race for him.
Yeah, I didn't hear a rear. The request to tow there was definitely a tow by himself. But unfortunately, we might try and get a replay of what happened. We see these boys now settling into a rhythm. Probably saving fuel will be 100% key, because as the Super 2 guys, they did in that last race, it was going to be a 2-stop to get home.
Yeah, certainly.
It could be a 3-stop here. Could be a 3-stop. We've been doing the numbers, and the drivers have got to try and get to lap 13 on this first stint to have a chance of doing it in 2.
Well,
really.
I think a lot of these drivers will be fuel saving, and when you have majority of the grid fuel saving, it does help, and especially being in that draft as well. It's not the biggest difference, but it's a difference that does end up making a difference.
Yep, a fishy draft is probably the best draft for those leaders. So they're out there leading, they can just lean off, especially teammates, all of those top 3 guys, and I'm pretty sure everyone else in this pack, as you can see, is tightly filled, and we're on lap 3. We're on lap 3 in the field, so tight, compact.
So what sort of techniques did you do, Tyson, when you were sort of right in the spoiler of the rear of another car, and you were struggling to see your brake markers?
So my definitely would be lifting straight away, even though I'm probably 100 metres away from it, and just use the draft to carry it. As soon as they're on the brakes, that's when I'm on the brakes. But I'm not carrying as much speed as them, so there's no way we're going to have contact.
Yeah.
As you see David Coleman here having a look up on the inside. Has the nose down the inside past it. Is he going to outbrake him? Down the inside, hits the curb nicely. Yes, he does. Job done. Well done, David. See a lot of guys using the excess bits of the track.
And under attack again is Alex Court. Alex Court is sitting in P12. Not used to seeing him so far down the grid, and he does. He hit the wall very hard, and a bit of contact as well. That's Alex Court going well into the wall, and I think that is probably going to be his race over. We could see a safety car being called here, as Alex McManus has a go at the 66 car. Down the inside, gets the move done on Darren Crosby. That was a big shunt into the wall.
I think you're right, Tyson. He's clipped the wall, and when he's come back out, the speed differential has just been a little bit too much, and that's probably created the
safety car has been caught too, Cowie. So this is big for that, that pit stop strategy. We'll try and get a replay of that incident between Alex as we get it up. But I think he's hit that wall on the top of the hill, because he's pushing so hard, and it's just a bit unfortunate. As you see, he's missed the apex there, ran a bit wide in the dirty air, and bang, straight into that wall. Slowed his speed. And secondary contact there, and smashed straight into the wall. Wow, unfortunate there for Alex.
Oh, it's a bit of a pirouette. Look at that.
He's done a parallel on top of it, landed on his feet, but that's his day done.
Probably get 9.5 for that landing, but I don't know if Alex would be quite happy with what happened there.
I'm not one of those type of judges.
Yeah, race control gets to make those decisions, buddy, not us.
And we see a few people actually taking a pit lane, and this is probably going to help Mr. Harry Dodds, as we see him on camera right now, who's pushing into pit lane. So his car doesn't look that much damaged, so fuel strategy is going to be quite interesting.
Well, you're at the back of the grid, and so you might as well take advantage of the pit stop, getting a bit extra fuel in. It might open that window up,
Here's the start of the race. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4 wide nearly? No, it is 4 wide.
It is
Yep.
4 wide into turn 1.
Oh, and Harry
And-
gets away with it.
Harry did get away with it, and
Until-
Oh, he did until then.
just got on the power too early.
Honestly, I forgot about that. So my apologies, Harry. I was giving you good credits there, but you spun the wheels around, and look, the car looks still shiny. So
Oh, look,
well done.
it's a fine line, isn't it? If he had been a tiny little bit less anxious, that would have been the perfect move.
Yep, and the Too Easy Finance car there is
Intervals.
nice and shiny again, sitting in last. But as you said, Cowie, get that fuel up there now. It gets him a nice long run, and he might only have to do a splash or possibly just save to the end. As we see this beautiful Logitech Hornet car. Oh. And he did have a spin as well earlier. I did see that in the background, so we're going to go back and have a look at this replay and see what happened to him early.
Trying to dive up the inside there, isn't it?
So I don't think there's contact. He's just he got on the power. See, he's just gone on the power a little bit, and he's ran a bit. Oh, yep, straight across, and the boys avoided it very well done there, and he's just hit the wall. It's on lap 2 as well, so cold tyres are in play. But again, guys, while we're under the safety car, I just want to say a big shout out to all our sponsors and to everyone who's watching at home. Don't forget, you're more than welcome to have a chat with us. We're all here listening, watching, talking. I'm watching the Facebook Live. Dono's got the YouTube one up, so jump in the comments, guys. We always are happy to have a chat.
We got Shibby with the YouTube up. I don't have the internet capacity for that one. You've overestimated
buddy, but you got
me.
the chops, mate. That's what it's all about. Oh, Matthew Mitz has something happened to him that he did that toe. So let's have a look at that and see what happened. Again, thanks to DSL Welding Services for this action replay.
But he's back
he's
on
just ran
track.
wide.
Yeah, he's gone wide. He's got the what's that yellow light there on the back of the car? Is that the engine light?
Yeah, he
I'm
might
not
have
He's
blown
just
that
pulled
away.
over, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's just towed by himself there, and I think he's back on track now. So, well,
I mean, he might have blown
definitely got
that
a few
engine
guys
then.
pushing.
I know all about that, boys.
So we see our leader is Jamie Dyke. Does it look like he's going to go into pit lane, or is he going to do one of those sidestep fakes? Nope, he didn't even bother with the sidestep fake. He's staying out.
Well, it's interesting because I believe that the pit lane is open until the safety car passes the start-finish line. Then it'll be closed.
Yeah, the pit exit's closed, so people can't do that, fast pit stop and get out in front of the leaders, which is, I think it's a great thing that race control's introduced. It makes it a bit more even on the pit stop. Especially when we're under safety car as well.
Yeah, look, a few of the guys taking advantage of putting some fuel in there. Probably more of the guys near the back of the field. And as we said, those extra few litres, because it was already going to be marginal, you had to, I think, when I was out there, my max fuel burn was about 4.3 litres a lap.
4.3? Okay, well, I'm going to use your numbers, and I'm going to quickly math up what we got.
Well, to get under, I was working it out for Harry out there, and to get, get it done in 2 stops, we thought you'd have to make it to lap 13 before you pitted. And effectively at a fuel burn of 4.0, it was 12.5 laps of fuel. So there would have had to be some fairly significant fuel savings, sort of trying to run numbers around 3.8.
So what are you feeling? Like maybe a 3 stops definitely a play?
Look, I think a 2-stop with those fuel strategies, I think the guys up front, the quick guys, they'll have that strategy down pat to try and do it in 2.
Especially with the safety car, I think that's going to help those guys a lot, because I think with the numbers I just got, the gap is probably about 9 litres, and I can save 9 litres under a safety car pretty easy, especially if you go the extra lap. So
well, I know the safety car in the Super 2 race, I think I pitted on lap 14, and I had about 0.8 or 0.9, so I could have pushed another lap, but it would have been dicey, so I pitted on 14. Right, so it was worth at least probably 2 or 3 laps of fuel, extra laps, because I think you can get your fuel burn at like 1.5 and coast.
Well, that's right, yes. So you can save a lot of fuel, especially if you just, following the McLaren safety car. And a lot of those top guys who've raced in a lot of different leagues in high speed, Jamie Dyke especially, he'll be out there saving it, got the clutch in there, trying to get all the maximum miles out of his fuel. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to quote, we're going to have a 2-stop. Because I feel like a 2-stop strategy will be the fastest way. The 3-stop will be the safe way. And we've seen Harry already. I'm going to say Harry's probably on a 3-stop.
Well, I think any of the guys that went into the pits now have basically just opened out that 2-stop, so they will likely not have to fuel save at all or as much by doing that.
Yeah, and just hope they don't get caught up as well.
Yeah, that's right. They put an extra 4 or 5 laps of fuel in the car, and back in the position that they were already in near the back of the field. So yeah, it's going to make it interesting.
Well, we know that those guys at the back have got pace. I mean, you can see Bruce Tannock has the fastest lap. So we know that they've got pace at the back. They're doing the 144s that the leaders are doing. So it's just going to, I think, be this back pack versus that front pack.
You got Alex Cord back there, Dave Coleman. Yeah, there's some quick
Jamie
guys back there, buddy.
Jamie Dyke is now leading the field away on lap 6 here. He's getting it ready to go green.
So is he going to check them up, do you think, or is he going to go early?
He's checking them up a lot.
I think you go on that last corner because you don't want to have those guys chasing you up their hill, especially if they're your teammates.
Yeah, I think going in the middle of the corner is probably the best bet.
I wouldn't be surprised that they're milking every ounce of fuel savings, so they might wait till the line too.
Oh, yes, just like we saw in the Super 2. I wasn't ready for that one, and I don't think the guy in P2 was either because it was a sneaky restart. But as we get ready to go green, the flag's out. Let's see when he goes.
See, the boys getting a little bit impatient. Come on, Jamie, get us underway as he goes now. As a couple of them were caught napping. Jamie Dyke just weaving on the straight, trying to get some heat into those tyres. So we get a nice view of the circuit. They come through turn 1. Logan Barnett maintains P4.
Was that Seth Lawrence up the inside,
was it? Looks like Chris Ireland was maybe making a move up the inside at the back of the grid.
Yeah, good.
There's a lot going on.
As we saw a beautiful shot from that blimp, that was a great shot at that start. We saw Mr. Blake Delaney and Jamie Dyke work together off the start, and off they went.
Might have been a little secret radio call there. They were counting it down, I reckon.
You see Chris Ireland lining up Harry Dodds on the back straight. Got a nice toe from him there. But this pack, as we said, this pack is going to be nice and tight with a field strategy. People are going to see spread out. The first one of our stoppers is car 99. So he'll be
Bruce Tannock. I think I've got Bruce Tannock, car 123. He pitted on lap 5. Darren Lobb, he pitted also.
Yes, so Darren Lobb's our car out front at the moment of our pit stoppers, and then Harry Dodds is the second car, and Bruce Tannock as well. So it'll be interesting seeing how these boys battle. If I was them, I'd be working together. But of course, they don't have radio comms next to each other as they're not teammates. So it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, there you go.
He's just on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, Bruce just got caught out there and the car got a little bit loose and he had to sort of check it up, and that gave the boys a run on the inside of him.
Yeah, Bruce Tannock just trailing Harry Dodds at the moment. And you can see this is a massive train of drivers. They are sitting currently behind Chad Lewis, who is lapping about a second slower than these guys.
Oh,
here's Bruce Tannock having a go.
Well, Harry did actually move to get him there.
Yeah.
Now Bruce trying to fight back, so
that's right.
So Harry's showing some pace and get in there, Harry. Get amongst it, buddy.
And then he's followed closely by Chad as well, and he's trying to keep that toe. But these boys, as you said, they're battling hard. They want to get up to those front runners.
Well, I think this is the group of guys that have all pitted too, so they don't have to hold anything back.
Well, here's Bruce Tannock having a go now. The draft going into play. They're going to take it 3 wide into turn 5. Does the move stick? It doesn't look like there will be substantial contact. Chad Lewis gets run wide, and there's the contact between Bruce Tannock and Harry Dodds. Chris Ireland trying to make the move to get alongside and take advantage of the contact. It looks like Harry Dodds was able to keep the car in control. And just behind is Michael Mitz. Michael Mitz?
I think there's a sheep station on this one, mate. The boys are going for it right from the word go.
It was 3 wide at one stage there, and they did quite well to keep it off the wall. Lucky there was a
David
runoff
Kirby, right on the back of. Oh no, it's Stephen Lawrence right on the back of David Kirby, pushing hard. See battles up and down the field, Dano. This is awesome stuff.
Yes, this is incredible. I did say it would be close. We need to get those intervals up on our standings. You can see just how close the field is. There is fights all over the field. P1 all the way down to P9.
So
there
commentary
are
tip.
people fighting.
That's it. Commentary tip for people out there. We're looking for colour in those in those intervals, and there's like one white car. The rest are in colour. So there's lots of battles going on.
So you'll be able to differentiate. The brighter the colour, the further away the car is. If it's white, they're not within 1 second. So the darker that colour is, the closer that car is. So you can see at the moment, the darker colours are those cars that are within 3/10 at the moment, as there is just nothing in it between the whole field. And Darren Lobb's also involved now in this train all the way to P1. So it really is anyone's game. The pit stop strategy is alive, and because of that safety car, the pit stop strategy is definitely an interesting one. This is going to wind down.
It's brought a few of those back rankers into the play, I reckon, Dano. Tyson. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, everyone knows for the last 2 weeks I love talking about pit stops and strategy, because for my team, that's who I am. I run the numbers. I always think about what's best for us, what can we do to beat everyone else on track, and to be honest, I think Harry's on the strategy. But what he did at the start, the little mistake, that's the best strategy for him at the moment. You know, the extra fuel, I would have pitted again to get at the back, clean air, and push hard. You see Alex Court's out there again. He's, you know, after his little incident, his little flip, he's back out there pushing. He's on the good strategy as well. But as we look everywhere up and down this paddock, there's just battles everywhere.
Darren Lobb pushing hard, trying to make his way through the field. Already shown that he is a man of pace in the V8 Supercar. Definitely got it to match Jamie and Blake and Michael up the front. And yeah, but the Fishy boys controlling the field nicely. And I'm sure that they've got their stats man looking at the numbers, and they're trying to sort of look after each other at this point. Oh, look at this battle. Harry Dodd's going to run.
That's the move on Tim Harris, and Harry Dodd's having a look now. Chris Island getting a move on Tim Harris. He's side by side. They're going to be too wide and too wide. And down at the back is David Coleman having a look up the inside, almost getting into the back of Chris Island. They're going to have a little rough and tumble once again. Harry Dodds and Bruce Tannock into turn number 6. Bruce just going a little bit wide, and Chris Island sneaks in. He is going to be able to go around the outside into turn 7.
Oh, he's done well, Harry, then. Also, Chris got caught on the outside, so he's fallen back. This is awesome.
David Coleman as well has gotten in front. Alex Court is way down the back of the grid. Side by side now, David Coleman, Chris Island. Chris Island just letting off. You can see he dropped back, and those brake lights didn't turn on for a little while. So he is, I'm sure, fuel saving as well. So maybe these guys do have to fuel save, guys.
Yeah, every time you can fuel save is a good time, especially if the boys in front of you are battling and you already know you're outside the pit window for the front runners. You might as well just stay out and try and get some more numbers. Let them battle. As soon as a mistake happens, you capitalise on that mistake.
But we're also seeing that Harry and Bruce are two of the guys that both pitted, and they're charging their way through because they don't have to worry about fuel saving at this point.
Especially with the different strategy play they're on. And as you look at the front runners, these 3 Fishy cars out in front, so we've had a lot of...
Jamie Dyke actually starting to form just a little bit of a gap to Blake Delaney. All the way down to P4, I think, is really where the battle is. And I'm sure Logan Barnett is going to do his best to make sure that there isn't a triple Fishy Motorsport podium. It'll certainly make the interviews easier.
Yeah, definitely. As we see David
pushing hard here now.
Yeah, putting the pressure on. He's not holding back, which is good to see. But it seems
Okay.
like whoever's out in front of this is the most vulnerable in this train at the moment. The Alex
Here's
Ford,
Alex
have a
Ford.
look.
Inside.
Having a look at Chris Island up the inside. Now, he's then going to be on the outside for turn number 7. Chris Island just keeping that car in front, and Alex Court having to recede the position.
How good a track is this, guys? Watkins Glen. Just awesome. You know, when you can have, you know, these cars jostling for position lap after lap. I mean, you know, I know it's
Well,
a
that's
fan
right. It's a
favourite
very
of a...
supercar track, isn't it? So
Yeah.
much room, understeery, as that's what I said in one of the pre-races. It's very understeery track because there's so much camber, so many high-speed corners.
Ooh,
As we see
Bruce
a mistake up in front.
Tanek going wide. Harry Dodds going to capitalise. Goes to the inside.
But as I
Unable
was
to get
talking
them.
about,
Bruce
the
Tanek
runoff. It's just worked perfectly.
tries to do it again, as there is just not enough in it. Yeah, speaking
Sure,
about this
Harry.
track, as
I'm sure
sorry,
Harry
we
fixed
see
that
another move.
car.
Here's
Yeah.
Darren Lobb.
Good. I was just going to say, I'm sure Harry fixed that car in the fast repair after his early on in the race. There's a couple little dings in it now.
He's definitely had some panel bunching, pushing and shoving in that battle, which is good to
Yeah.
see. As we were watching Darren Lobb there before, he's fallen back 2 positions from his starting grid. And Stefan Lawrence, that's just in front of him, is up 4 positions, which is good to see from those boys pushing hard.
I remember Darren's another one of those guys that's pitted, so he's you know, on that strategy as well now. So just keep an eye out. We're on lap 12 now, so the fishy boys will be starting to think about when they can pit. You know, sort of one more lap puts it in that window. So if they can get it to 13, they're still on for a 2-stopper.
They have a locker break there, and he's ran a bit wide on the exit here. And Harry's still trying to capitalise on this pass, but he just can't get it done because he's under so much pressure from David behind. So there's just, this battle pack has been going for 3 or 4 laps now, and it's just full on.
Alex caught on the back of this battle pack now, so too. Don't know.
Yeah, this is P12 all the way down to P16. And then splitting them and the pack in front is Stephen Kennedy,
Mm-hmm.
and Stefan Lawrence.
That's right, we got a few cars out there, especially in their fresh air. And the gap, these guys are just slowly falling back into this battle pack as we see here.
We see maybe a couple of those drivers possibly going into the pits, as there is one going into the pits. It's
that
David
David?
Coleman.
Yep.
So David's going
David
in, that's
Coleman.
pit number 2 for him as well.
Well, 13. He's still on for a 2-stopper, though. He have to run it dry. And,
So
and
David
even then,
Kirby in P5, Lindsay Hobb, Darren Lobb behind. There is a triple battle going on right here, and the draft is ever so important. Here's Darren Lobb on Lindsay Hobbs into turn number 5. It's a bumpy run into turn 5. Does Darren Lobb keep the inside alive and get the move done? Lindsay Hobbs is able to put the car in a beautiful position to defend.
good driving.
And,
He gave space and just able to hold around the outside.
Oh, Chris Island having to go at Alex Court, similar to what Alex did a couple of laps ago. And he is able to get alongside this time, a lot more than Alex Court was. So
I'd
these
say a
two
bit further
battle.
back, a bit further back. Alex was behind him, so Alex has made a move. Chris has come back at him, and Alex is just trying to consolidate that now.
And if these two continue to battle like they are absolutely door to door. The cars in front, Harry Dodds, Bruce Tanek, they're going to start to get away as Chris Island going around the outside into turn
pushed
8,
off the track.
ends up getting pushed wide into turn 9 now. Just has to drop the
Playing for keeps
position.
there. Yeah, playing for keeps, mate.
I see Jamie Dykes in pit lane now, so the front
And so
runner's
is
about to
Logan
box.
Barnett. And so is Lindsay Hobbs and David Kirby, Alex McManus and Darren Crosby, Stefan Lawrence all into the pits as well. So here's Bruce Tanek. How many positions is he going to gain? It's going to be up to P4. Darren Lobb
There you go,
not
so
long
was
to
it.
the pits either.
Jamie
But these
Dyke
boys
was
are
out
now
front.
all in the top 10.
Yeah, well, Jamie Dyke was out front, so he was the one punching the air, so his fuel numbers wouldn't have been as good as the other boys. So I wouldn't be surprised that Blake and Michael, pushed this lap maybe even one more. They can get to 15. That puts them on a similar strategy with the guys that took advantage of the safety car.
Yeah, it certainly will. It's going to put them on a very close strategy. Of course, these boys all have one more pit stop afterwards. Now, you would think that given there is that extra pit stop, Bruce Tannock, Harry Dodds, and Alex Court is going to be your top 3. But don't count your chickens before they've hatched. There is still a lot to play in this race, and another safety car will for sure mix things up.
Oh, sure. Of course, they always do. But at the moment, I think, all of the guys made it to lap 13, at least. And that meant that 2 pit stop strategy is still a viable option. If you had to pit before 13, then that meant you were almost resigned to a 3-stopper. So 2-stopper's still there, buddy. I can't see a 3-stopper being an option now, except for those guys that have already pitted.
Yeah, especially if they can't push out and get to that critical lap number, which we don't actually know which the critical lap number is from this point onwards, because the boys that are pitted early, like Harry Dodds, they want to get to as long as they can on this strategy right now. 25, 26 is your sort of, again, you 37 lap race, you need enough fuel to come home as well, that extra cool down lap, but I suppose you could coast most of that. So you think about it, probably around lap 25, that's getting you, 24, 25 is getting you that 13 laps to the end. Yeah, so about 10 laps away from that.
Oh, no.
Contact. Did he hold it? I think he did.
I think both of them did. He might have to redress that. We'll see what race control's got to say about that. We'll see if Dave just lets him through again. We'll keep an eye on that.
Here's Logan Barnett out the pit, coming through turn 1. Blake Delaney and Michael Whiting out of the pits. Logan Barnett, does he have the extra speed to get past Blake Delaney? Blake Delaney covers him off well. He's going to have the draft down the straight. Logan Barnett also has the momentum and tyres that are just that little bit warmer. Is he able to get the move done? Michael Whiting is right behind him. They're going to be side by side coming into turn 5. And that is a great strategy choice from Logan Barnett, and now he's got to keep both of those fishy boys behind.
See that there? That was rather smart too. He sort of went in hot and then checked him up a little bit on the exit there. So, pretty interesting driving technique, I must say.
Yeah, he got in there and tried to just lift it out there to give him that extra breathing space. No point fighting here and pushing each other wide and slowing up while those other guys haven't really pitted yet. Might as well just work as a team. Once
you're into turn 5 and you've committed to a line, you can't really make a decision to change that line. So it was very smart, exactly, Cowie, to check them up like that. As we see Lindsay Hobbs having a look at David Coleman, getting very up close and personal. So there is a
fishy
lot
on the right
of
there, buddy,
strategies going on.
So that fishy looked a bit dented there on the right when Lindsay had a look up there. So again, there's been quite a bit of door banging amongst the boys. We saw Harry getting involved in it there. Dave's been right in the middle. Looks like Lindsay's car's looks pretty straight there. So might keep an eye out and see who else is wearing a few scrapes and bruises out there.
Yeah, so Darren Lobb yet to pit at the moment. He's got a 7-second gap to Bruce Tannock behind, and beyond that is about a 32 second to Jamie Dyke in P6. So he almost has a free pit stop, and that is just incredible driving from Darren Lobb.
Well, 7.2 seconds at the moment. So from Bruce, and then when you're looking 35 seconds back to those guys. So that strategy has worked out pretty good for them. But again, they're now in that position where this stint they have to run the tank pretty close to dry, I would think.
Yeah, they're going to have to be running these tanks till empty. There's no
going in the pits.
early pit stops at all.
And I think the only difference between fuel numbers is only going to be about 3 laps. So these boys will be definitely coming into the pit lane quite soon, as I think we see Alex Court and Bruce Tannock in right now. So Harry might be in in the next 2 laps. So we'll be seeing, as we hear race control calling out a redress. I didn't catch that.
That'll
How is
be
Darren Lobb
for
not
Dave
pit yet?
Coleman. That'll be Dave Coleman on Lindsay Hobbs. I was talking about that before. No, I think the whole field has pitted at least once.
That's
Dano,
right.
But there was at least for about 6 or 7 cars that took advantage of that safety car, just to sort of throw them a little bit out of the strategy. But
So it'll be quite
again,
interesting then with Alex Court, with those other guys who were on the same strategy as Harry, where he comes out.
this is lap 12 for those guys at the moment.
Lindsay Hobbs
So-
up the inside of David Coleman. Doesn't get the move done. Pushes him wide. And gets the move done in the end. And then he is side by side. There's contact. And is he able to hold it? David Coleman, no! Slams into the wall. Hold your brakes, son. Get out of the way.
That's because of that redress there, I believe, and his engine's on fire. It's smoking. That's unfortunate for David there. That's a really
That's going to cause a
unfortunate.
safety car, I think.
Yeah,
so.
it's in a really awkward spot as well. The exit of turn 3 as he tries to flick it around as we get a replay.
Yeah, I think he was looking to do a
Just
redress
didn't see
there.
him, I don't think.
Yeah.
Darren Crosby, the driver of the 66 car, just getting a bit of contact with him. And yep, there was no mercy for the 640 numbered Fishy Motorsports car.
And you know what?
Technically,
This is going to help those boys who didn't pit yet, because this is basically a free pit stop for them, and they get a beautiful fresh set of
it's
rubber.
right in the right time. It's in the right time too.
As
Again,
David is limping back. Bit unfortunate for him. I think his race done.
Well, he might still have his fast repair. Again, but we'll have to see. But yes, it's you can just see there that I think, you know, Dave, when he, I don't know how race control would rule it, because he's gone wide there. He's come back onto the track, and does that mean who was the person he had the contact with?
I'm not sure which person he's had the contact with, that he's definitely redressing a position there, so it's pretty unfortunate that he's made contact as well as he's done the right thing there. But we're going to get another replay and see what happened. It's car 60. I think it's car 60. Can you see that?
99. That's Darren Lobb, isn't it?
66. Car 66. To Darren Crosby. So it's a bit unfortunate. I don't think there's anything to blame there. It was a redress. He's on the wrong side of the track, come across on the racing line, on his nose, and yeah, that's just a bit unfortunate for David.
Can't see race control doing much about that, but unfortunate. We'll see if he's got a fast repair and he can get back onto the train. We are 18 laps into this 37 lap race, so pretty much on halfway now. So the guys that are pitting will take advantage of this safety car to pit. It's still going to leave them sort of half a stint short, but did we have a few? I think, did Harry
So we're
pit?
on, Harry did pit. He's back out in P10 at the moment.
Yeah.
And fuel numbers, I'm going to run them and see what we got. So we got 18 laps in.
Well, the thing is, everyone else still has to pit again.
So yeah,
you've
so
got
those boys have just pitted, like Jamie Dyke and those front runners. They're going to be probably pitting in probably around lap 28, so they'll get to that critical lap number they're aiming for. And then Harry Dodds and a few of those other guys who are on that other strategy, they're going to be coming in, right, say around lap 31. Depends if they save fuel here, they might even make it to lap 32. But we'll just see how that unfolds.
One of the things, this safety car here is probably going to bring all those numbers back to where these guys will be able to now run full throttle and make it to a critical lap where they can pit and run full throttle at the end. So I think, you know, these 2 or 3 laps on a safety car is just going to open those numbers up for everyone.
That's right, it's going to cleanse that field and it's going to make it nice and even. So what if Harry Dodds needs to do now to get maximum out of his strategy? He needs to get past these guys and get on the back of Jamie Dyke and close that gap as much as he can. So when he pits, he should be pitting and save about 4 or 5 seconds in the stop. And hopefully comes out nice and close after the pit stop.
Those guys, they're going to have a 4 or 5 lap advantage of tyres at the end.
That's right.
So that gives you that nice window. But again, as I said, look, it's lap 18 now. Jamie Dyke has pitted on lap 14. We saw that with the safety car, they were able to get 14 laps. So 13 or 12 with no, I believe if you go full burn, 4.2 litres a lap, so when you're full on the throttle, you can do 11.9, so 12 laps. So again, these guys are going to be able to push it to that lap 25 or 26 would lead to 12 laps to go if you count an extra lap for the cool down. So
yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Who's going to get to the end?
Well, I just think that this has really brought it out to now everyone can go full loud pedal. I think you won't need a lot of fuel saving now.
Bruce Tamak is in the pits.
Yeah, and David
Bruce.
Coleman as well is in the pit lane, so he's made it back to pits. Let's see if he's got a nice fresh car.
Bruce got caught out. I think he pitted a lap or two before the safety car because he was battling with Harry. And then I think maybe he's just gone for a little bit of an extra fill. And I didn't see anything up to say that he had damage or anything, had made a mistake. So maybe just topping it up. He thought he was already back down the field. Might as well top it up and go right to the back.
Yeah, and he gets, nice fresh rubber, and top the fuel up, and then he gets to go those extra 2 laps longer on these other guys. But you go with another safety car breeds safety cars, as they say, so it could help him out even then. As we saw today in the 12 hour, how many times did Mr. Mara Ingle pit on those safety cars? Get that extra fuel done, get the top it up.
18 or 19 pit stops, I think they had, something like that.
Yeah, he pitted
There was
a
a
lot.
team with 24 or 26. It was crazy.
And of course, he wanted to get those compulsory pit stops done nice and early, and it's, especially with those fuel, if you have those extra bits of fuel, it helps later in the race, which is exactly what these boys want to do if they're at the back of the pack. So again, for the while we're under our safety car, just want to thank the guys who are watching tonight. It's been a long night, Super 2 and then Super 1 as we're on now. The safety car will be going into pit lane this lap, so big shout out to you guys.
And of course, thanks to our sponsors, DSL Welding Services, the Promo Department Safety Car, getting a look there. We didn't see it for the first couple of weeks in SRW, and now it's been spending, half of the night on the track.
Yeah, he wanted to come out and say good day.
Well, Belle Isle and Watkins Glen has there's been 4 or 5 safety cars in all of the races before tonight, so crazy.
I think we need a different safety car, because isn't the safety car meant to be pushing? That didn't look like pushing to me, Ryan. But I think the safety car is going in this lap, so Jamie Dyke is starting to back up the field. He leads it away from Logan Barnett, Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting, Darren Lobb, David Kirby, Lindsay Hobbs, Darren Crosby, Chris Island, and Harry Dodds rounding out that top 10. And we know that all of these drivers can stay together within the threshold of overtaking, and it really could be anyone's game.
It's going to be interesting to see as well where Jamie takes this start, because he has a different car behind him this time, so the teammate's not there.
Well, I think that it's no longer
drop a gear.
I think it's no longer a fuel game, boys. I think this is a tyre game.
He's gone.
There he goes. Straight away. He went away, wants to break that toe from the cars behind and see a couple of cars weaving left and right, trying to wave to us. Yep, we're here, we're watching.
Yeah, so you could hear him weaving on the straight. You could see him, weaving on the straight, trying to get some temperature back into those tyres. It's Lindsay Hobbs having a look at David Kirby, the 307 car.
All of them got away clean.
This draft as well. It's going to be powerful for the next few laps until they break up into a bunch of packs. You can see everyone's tightly bunched now up in that safety car. David's back at the back. Holds his line quite well. Brucey around the outside. Got some radio comms.
Okay, so one of the drivers calling out there is there might have been some people passing before the control line. So stay tuned. Race control, we'll have a look at that.
Yeah, that will be quite interesting, especially when Jamie did go early. You know, people normally do follow him, get that advantage, especially when it's an early one. So it'll be interesting to see. You might be able to try and go back and see if we can see it on the broadcast. But for now, we're watching this battle here for P7 and P6 with David
Kirby and Lindsay Hobbs.
Thank you.
Lindsay has had some good pace out there and been right in amongst the thick of it. Darren Crosby up in 8th position, so he's up 8 positions at the moment. So that's an awesome effort from Darren there.
Oh, we see a car hit the wall there. Car 66 again, just give the wall a rub on the exit there of the
Darren
last
Crosby
corner.
as Chris Island goes up the inside and it gets the position. He moves up into P8 and there's now a second
Oh, he
between
caught
them.
it,
And there's
caught
a
it.
big
Yeah,
crash. Darren, is that Darren Crosby?
No, that's right at the back. That's
Steve.
Sorry, Stephen Kennedy.
Yeah, he's
Stephen
just kept
Kennedy.
that off the wall too, so well done to him.
Stefan Lawrence now getting up nice, close and personal with Alex McManus, and in front of them is Darren Crosby and Harry Dodds.
Is that
Harry
a
doing
move
a
on the
very nice
inside there
job
from
up the
Harry on
inside.
Darren?
Yeah, Harry's up to P9 now after that restart. So good stuff for him. He pushing back into the race.
That's great
Yeah,
stuff.
Alex
McManus
caught.
was-
Oh, bit of a lock-up. That's a lock-up
Yeah.
from Stefan Lawrence, and Alex
there's gonna be
McManus a
contact.
little wobble.
3 wide.
They're 3 wide.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
there's contact. Just able to keep the car under control. Alex McManus. Alex caught. Just getting caught out. Alex McManus had a very wobbly car
he's
through
got a
that
great
corner.
run.
They're looking to go 3 wide again. Alex caught, trying to get involved. You can see he backs off nice and early. Doesn't want to cause another incident. And behind them is Tim Harris. Tim Harris and Bruce Tannock right behind. We
Stefan
might
was have
see
to-
Alex Court go for it soon. We've
Stefan
known
was
him
just
to do it.
floating across the track there. I don't believe he was weaving, but it was quite intelligent. Just closing the door on Alex Court there.
Yeah, definitely closed that door there off Alex. He's sat behind now, and that was very close to another major incident with involving Alex there. He pulled out of it, which was good, but there was slight contact there as the boys were going. You get 2 wide down into turn 1, and he gets that move done before the braking zone. Well done.
Alex
I think Alex
McManus
is
trying to get
definitely-
the move up the inside, and Alex Court trying to follow him. Bruce Tannock gets the move on Tim Harris. He is trying to make his way back through the field. They are all-
here from these boys.
Yeah, the more these guys battle, though, the more that top 10 is able to sneak away. They are all within a second of each other, that top 10, and
Well,
it is
said to you.
very, very close at the
Yeah,
front.
I don't think fuel's a worry anymore. All of these guys have got the opportunity now to go full loud to the end. You're just going to see how deep do Darren, Lob, and Harry Dodds, and a couple of the other guys that have pitted later. Alex Court's another one. He pitted lap 17.
Oh, there's Alex Court up
goes
the
up the
inside.
inside.
What a move!
Good job.
Just
you.
left the door just that little bit open, and Alex Court pounced on it like a
Here he is,
cat.
not burning Alex, are they? As soon as I mentioned his name, he suddenly appeared there.
That's right. After
You
Dark Sim
summoned him.
Racing, Alex caught up the inside. Good job. And it's
Bruce
a bit
Tannock having to go on
unfortunate.
Alex McManus as well. He gets the move done as
well
well
done.
into turn 7. Sorry, that's
These
turn
guys
8.
aren't finished yet. Alex has dove down the inside. There's just action everywhere. Look
Oh,
again
the
as there's
tag there.
contact, and he's
Oh,
spun him. And no.
Stefan Lawrence. He's
Dun,
got
dun,
quite a
dun.
bit of damage on the front end of that Commodore. And Stefan Lawrence drops back. Alex Court going to be under investigation, I reckon, for that one.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there. He went down there. It was a very, very late dive. I'm sure we're going to get a replay of that action. And yeah, a bit of contact and spinning around.
So Darren Lobb is behind Michael Whiting and Blake Delaney as they start to drop back just a little bit. That was a little late. We didn't quite catch the contact. We'll go have a rewind. You can't really see it from that angle.
I think
But-
this is going to be
Yeah,
similar
it's
to myself
definitely
on
a
Friday
late
night.
dive.
Yeah,
Late dive.
it is a bit of contact on Alex Court's end.
I don't know if he's in
And-
trouble there because he sort of ran a little bit off the apex, but Stefan was sort of trying to turn down too. So I think it's
Well,
another
poor
one of those
Bruce Tanek.
cases of
Poor Bruce
wore it
Tanek,
as well.
he's had nowhere to go.
Mm.
Front end
Oh.
and the side of that car has just had a bit of damage. Tim Harris able to get around him now as he's still fighting for that position. They go side by side through turn 6. Coming through into turn 7, Bruce Tanek is going to have the inside line. He's got substantial front end damage,
Dave Coleman
but he
with
is
a fixed
fighting
car.
for his life.
That's right. I
David
was just
Coleman
about to say,
sneaks
David's back
through.
in there.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Fast
But,
Repair fixed that car and he's back in amongst it.
Also, I'm glad I'm not the steward of this race tonight. I get to kick back and relax and watch everyone else do all the job.
Well, you're supposed to be giving us that bit of insight, buddy. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Did you think that Alex was far enough up there, the B pillar, to have
He
the
was
right to
definitely
that?
past that B pillar, but when it comes to, you know, racing like that, the angle for us to see, you know, as from the third party, I say it's very 50-50 call, and yeah.
Well, then
it's
you
hard
just
to
said
say.
you just answered yourself, buddy. So it really comes down to, you know, the camera angle and all that. So race control will be looking at it from multiple angles and probably analysing it a lot more than we are doing because we can't let the action go by. You can see Dave Coleman making a move again on the inside of Timothy Harris. Tim's done well to stay in front there to spot the car. Oh, no, that is Bruce Tanek, I should say.
Yes.
The front of that car's looking pretty hurt. And
David's on the attack.
yeah, I don't
And
think
David
Bruce
is
is
going
quite
to cut to the outside.
Oh,
Lindsay Hobbs and David
Darren
Kirby
will-
having a little bit of a touch coming into turn number 5.
A little bit of a side bump and run there, I think.
Yeah, it definitely was. He's gave him a bump, unsettled the car, and he's made the pass. So then probably is going to be a redress coming for that position.
Oh, again, we'll see what happens. Good to see my teammate Harry Dodds is still in this hunt, running in P9 at the moment. Christopher Ireland, we spoke to Christopher, and he was right in the thick of that battle earlier in the race. We should mention also that he's up 7 positions at the moment, running in P8. So started in 15th, having a
Yeah,
great run.
He's done a great job there, up 7 positions, pushing hard. Well done.
That's it. And Chris is another guy that's on that late pit stop strategy where they took advantage of the early safety car. So those tyres are going to be fairly fresh when they get put on the car. And these guys are going to be able to push really hard at the end of the race.
And a very positive note for these guys that are in this pack. They're only 5.4 seconds off. So looking at Harry, he's sitting quite nice, doing some good lap times. I think he's matching the guys out in front, which is really good to see as we go across to the Logan Barnett. He's still sitting on Jamie Dyke's rear bumper as he makes a little mistake out there. Let's see if he's going to get the draft all the way up this hill.
See if we can get an unboard.
It's such a
Definitely
tight
shaped
run through
himself
there.
up. Yeah, you make a little mistake with that aero, Rosh, you're going to be in that fence as we've seen before. With
can
that.
see
Jamie
the
Dyke
guys.
weaving on the straight. I don't know if he'll be copping a penalty for that. I'm not too sure on the legality of that.
There might be a little warning there from race control if they notice that. But you're allowed to move sort of once. The moment
Yeah,
you
you're allowed
start
to
to
make
move
one
more than once.
defensive move. One defensive
right.
move, I believe, is what it says in the FIA rules.
I mean, he wasn't blocking there. He's trying to break the toe, but
That's
still.
right. Yeah, so one defensive move in the braking zone, and then on the straight line, you're allowed to make 2 movements, one to the right or one to the left, but you must stay to it. You can't make the third. So once you make that third movement, that's when the stewards will raise their eyebrows and say, "Hey, what's going on here?"
And
Oh, this
yeah,
battle.
so they've broken off into little packs now. So there's Jamie Dyke and Logan Barnett up in front. That's the front 2 fighting for the win. Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting, Darren Lobb all the way back. And then Lindsay Hobbs is leading David Kirby, Chris Island, and Harry Dodds as David Kirby gets all sorts out of sorts.
What
And
happened,
Chris
Mr.
Island
Drifter?
is up the inside, trying to take advantage of it. Does
Has who
so,
said a
in
lead
fact.
change?
But
Oh,
David Kirby also,
think it is
as well.
too.
There was a lead change as
Oh
well.
no,
We'll get a
Jamie's in
replay of
pit
that.
lane.
Jamie Dyke has gone into the pit lane. So was there an
Okay,
incident?
No, we're at that critical lap that I talked about. This is lap 26.
Oh, it is. Wow, this
27.
race just gone by so quick.
Yeah, so, again, look
Oh,
at the
front
guys.
Wow, that is very, very wide. Harry
Taking
Dodd's
advantage
able
of that.
to Harry Dodd's able to gain a position from that. And that
Yep.
could be a slowdown from Chris Island, so Harry Dodds might have another position from that. David Coleman now having a look at Alex McManus on the rear right of that car.
Now, I believe it's 25 incident points before a drive-through penalty this race. You can
Okay,
already
back.
see the guys starting to take advantage of running wide and carrying more speed through turn 1. And just taking the 1X, as long as it's not a slowdown, you're okay.
Good to see David pushing back up to P12 now, and he's having a tight battle here with Alex McManus. After
David's got pace, mate.
his little mistake. Or
He's got pace. David's had pace, and you know, he's quite an exciting driver to watch because he, you know, I suppose does drive right at the edge of his limit, and you know, makes a few mistakes here and there, but is always giving us great action every week here at SRW TV. And we love having him and all the other fishy boys. Oh, a little tap there. So Alex got a bit loose on the front, and probably got righted by Dave then.
that's right, and then, you know, those boys are always coming back, having a race, having a laugh, and you know, out of all the cars we see, those fishy cars are always there. So especially when from the Super 2 race we had Ty, he's one of the new recruits for those boys' debut race, and solid effort for those guys as we see, I think, another couple of boys coming into pit lane. So this pit strategy is going to be quite interesting now, and it's definitely, you pit now, you're going to get home no matter what. So let's see who comes out. Those fresh tyres are going to be pushing hard as we see this battle up the hill, the Cho or the draft train. I could say DRS train, but we don't have DRSC, even though there's boards on the side.
Well, it's a brick with wheels, buddy, so they do punch a pretty good hole in the air.
That's right, especially if you're in a double toe.
Well, that's what we've seen, though, all this race. It's been sort of battle packs of 4 or 5 cars, or 3 to 5, so it seems to be the most efficient way to get round here. Oh, a little tap on the back there. Darren
Going
Lobb,
down there.
and he's made a move there, so just unsettled Blake's car a little bit there. So was that another bump and run? I don't know if it was intentional.
No, it's definitely a good race in there. You open the door, push it, force it in there, and a good pass. So we see Michael Whiting is now out in front and just trying to clear these boys. And I assume they'll be in this lap. If they're not this lap, it'll be definitely next lap. As Jamie's our first one, and still out in front of Logan, because I think Logan's just come out of pit lane just behind Jamie about by 2 seconds.
Well, these guys, Michael Whiting pitted on lap 15, so this is now 12, 13 laps. So we did have 1 or 2 on the safety car, but if they've been going full loud pedal, I wouldn't be surprised he'll be in this lap, I would think. And, you know, Darren Lobb and Harry Dodds running in P4, those two will be able to push Chris Island as well, because they've got a 3-lap advantage.
Yeah, they're going that extra lap.
Yep.
And it's good to see these fishy guys are on completely different strategies to each other. Like, they're out there, and they might be teammates, but they definitely want the win. So
I think it comes down to Jamie was out front for that first lot of the race, so he was the brick punching the hole, so he didn't get the benefit that the rest of the guys did. So, and you probably find that's the variance in the strategy. He's had to pit, you know, a lap or 2 earlier than them in the first stint, and the same in the second stint. Oh, Darren Lobb making a move up the inside of Michael. So perhaps Michael, I wouldn't think that's just all draft and toe, and he's coming back at him.
right, he got a bit of a wheelie exit there, and he's definitely, if these guys keep battling, it's just going to help Jamie. Because Jamie's sitting behind his actual teammate right now, David Coleman, so it's quite a good position for him, and I don't think David's going to hold him up.
We're talking, is it how far back is he?
So we move there
Probably
from
about
David
35.
Kirby as well, down the inside from tier 1. Good action there.
So Jamie Dyke is 23 seconds intervals. What's that, 31, 36? Probably about 38 seconds off the lead. The pit lane time has been in the high 40s to low 50s. So that's putting Jamie Dyke in a pretty good situation, I think.
That is, yep. Especially if
It
those
might be
guys want to have a
strong.
tussle.
Logan Barnett there in that battle as well. Lindsay Hobbs 6 seconds behind them in P10 at the moment. That might be the window there that where Darren and Harry
We
can
see
sort of float
Michael's just
into.
come into pit lane. Ooh, it's going to be spicy. This exit's going to be close. Harry stays out, and he's got a car behind him. If those boys work together again, they're definitely in the play. It's just how close of the play will they be in? And those fresh tyres will always be strong here. So as Jamie's pushing on now, he's going to hopefully come out right in this battle.
I certainly hope Harry runs long here and maximises that tyre advantage.
Yeah, and try and get that fresh rubber.
Yep.
He doesn't really want to fight Chris here because he wants to just, you know, as I say, as a team is, send it sim sports. He's not going to sit behind Harry that long.
It's going to be very close on that pit exit. We can see now the gap starting to drop between Jamie Dyke and Michael Whiting. I want to see if we can get a visual on that.
Oh,
As Jamie Dyke
Pit
actually
exit,
does
yep.
pass Michael Whiting.
Yep, he got him, so that's going to be interesting, but the gap isn't that much. It's only 2.5 seconds, and with that fresh rubber, I'm pretty sure he's going to close the gap. But those battles those boys were having is probably what cost them that little bit of buffer, and it was a good option there. Definitely get out of that way, let those boys have a fight, get that fresh tyre on. As you can see, Jamie was in fresh air, and it seemed to have paid off.
Darren Lobb
has, but
is
Logan
30.
Barnett-
Darren Lobb is 35 seconds ahead of Jamie Dyke at this moment. It was 37, so Jamie's already taking a little bit of time out of that. And as I said, I think that pit lane transit time, Jamie's on the last one was 51 seconds for the pit lane transit. So I think that, you know, Jamie and Logan have, you know, that second safety car has really brought these two back into this race.
Yeah, that's right. And Harry Dodds and those other underdog guys that have that little bit extra fuel, the only thing that's going to really benefit them is they're going to have fresher tyres and that gap's going to be closed. But let's see if they take the right amount of fuel. And then we'll see, because we've got Alex Claw and Blake Delaney in the pit lane right now. So we've got Darren Lobb out front, who's just got past Harry. And, oh no,
That's
sorry.
right. I mean,
And
do we have an
Harry
idea of
Peter.
how many litres you can put in per second in these cars? Have you ever worked those numbers
I
out?
haven't actually worked that out.
Okay.
That would be good. An interesting stat, but
Well, I just think, you know, again, the advantage of Harry and Harry Dodds and Darren Lobb and Chris Island being able to run long is that, you know, they're going to have to put 3 or 4 laps less in the car. And that's going to equate to time standing still.
that's right. As long as those boys have got their fuel numbers all sorted, and hopefully they do, and it should make
Well,
this
Blake-
splash to the end. We've got 7
Blake
to go.
Delaney has gone to the pit and come out the pit, and he is only a second behind Michael Whiting, his teammate in front. So it's going to be a very close battle. Darren Lobb probably coming into the pits shortly. Can't imagine he'll run too much longer.
Just that 2 or 3 lap advantage that they had, I think you maximise it because it's just going to mean less fuel to put in the car. You can see that at the moment, you know, Darren on these tyres that are 12 laps old is still doing a 145, so he was matching sort of the pace of Jamie Dyke on the fresh rubber. I think Jamie now is just starting to claw it back a little, and that's 33 seconds the gap back to Jamie. So to keep an eye, has Darren? Yes, Darren's in the pit lane now.
Yeah,
Harry
here's
Dodds as well.
Darren and Harry Dodds as well. Chris Island staying out, so trying to put in the least amount of fuel as possible. We're going to stay with Logan Barnett as they come into turns 10 and 11 now. Is Darren Lobb and Harry Dodds able to get out in front? It's going to be very
interesting.
close. They're in the pit box. I'm watching that pit time go up and up and up. It's 14.38 seconds, and he's out of the box. You can see them in the background. They're coming through the pit lane now. On the pit exit, Darren Lobb, is he able to stay in front of Jamie Dyke? It looks like he is.
He has done it.
I guess your numbers are right there, Mr. Kelly.
Overcut.
Hey.
The overcut from Darren Lobb has just put him into the net lead of the race.
He was punching out some awesome numbers on those tyres, doing 45s on those 12 lap old tyres when Jamie was coming out doing 45s on his fresh rubber. So Darren looked after those tyres that stint, and
on that last pit lane time, he had a 14.38 second stop and literally just under 46 second total pit lane time. Now, comparing that to Jamie Dyke and Logan Barnett, it's 51.62 and a 52 seconds. So he saved 6-7 seconds just from going long. So that is the difference, and he's now got such a substantial gap to Jamie Dyke and Logan Barnett as Michael Whiting has snuck up the inside of Logan Barnett. Is he able to get the move done? We're going to see them fight side by side. Blake Delaney looking to make it 3 wide. Logan Barnett on the inside. He's not going to have a good run on the exit. The outside's where you want to be. Has a little moment on the inside. Has to concede the position to Michael Whiting. And he is now out of the podium contention.
The boys are just using every ounce of track and then maybe a little bit more. So saving those 1Xs for this finale to the race. We're on lap 32 now. So only, 6 laps to go. And here Blake Delaney making a move on Logan as well.
Logan Barnett, though, holding that position on the outside. He might have a little bit of side draft. Here's Chris Island getting overtaken by Harry Dodds. Harry Dodds, a lovely undercut. Is he going to be able to hold off Chris Island? So Chris Island's stop that time was 13.87 seconds. So Darren Lobb, I think, has timed his pit stop perfectly out of everyone on the grid. Total pit lane time of 45.98 seconds. Compare that to Chris Island, who was 44.82, but dropped just that.
It was about 5 or 6 seconds, Dano, difference between the guys that pitted at the end there for less fuel than the guys that had to pit for the full-ish tank. So, that's what that difference was worth, 5 or 6 seconds, and you've got fresher rubber too, 2 or 3 laps fresher rubber.
Yeah, you certainly do. It is coming right down to the wire here at Watkins Glen. And Chris Island having a look up the inside, just thinking a little bit better of it. Almost a little bit of contact between the rear of him and Harry Dodds. He runs very wide. Is he going to cut to the inside and have a go? He's not. Lindsay Hobbs is watching this in front of him and is just eating it up. Able to get even closer. Maybe even a top 5 there, but Logan Barnett is ahead in the top 5. There's about a 4.5 second gap to these guys.
Yeah, about 3.5 I think. 3.5, 5 to go. But as we said, these are the guys that have got fresher rubber. Harry just looking to guard the inside here as Chris goes round. Yeah, had to slot in there, and now it's the Chris
move up the inside defensive maneuver from Harry Dodds. We're getting on board now with Chris Island.
I must say that's a really good shot.
Well, this is what I was talking about before. This is where I found when you're coming up the hill here, it's really hard to spot your braking marker when you ride up the date of the car in front, I suppose.
Especially taking out all that extra speed. Harry covers quite well on the inside, holds it down there. Who's going to break the latest? Oh, Harry gets it down. But he's going to be on the wrong side of the track for the next corner.
Good drive out of there, though.
It's going to be grass. Gary gives him the room. Well done. Good driving.
Yeah, excellent drive from both these boys. And then Harry might be able to get the switch back on the next run. At Watkins Glen, it's a great track. I mean, I've had fun every time I come to drive here. The classic boot layout tonight, haven't actually driven that myself, and that just means you don't have that little bus stop chicane at the top, and it's full flat.
Yeah, the bus stop was death.
So much better, isn't it, Cowie?
Well, it just means it brings that little bump and hump at the end into the braking area. And that makes it tricky. So you can see every now and again the guys that are going really deep and maybe braking on the top of that are just getting a little bit loose and the car's a bit bouncy over the other side, So I'm sure there's a few heart and throat moments, if you try to go really deep there. And again, the problem is that it's hard to see the braking marker sometimes too when you're that close.
Well, that's right. Well, guys, we only got a few laps left. So again, big shout out to everybody in the who's watching on YouTube, on the Facebook live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Let's hope we get a fast battle to the end of this. And of course, we couldn't do it without our sponsors as well, guys. So a big shout out to those.
Yep, so DSL Welding Services, the promo department, our safety car, and Dragonrc. We love having you guys on board, and hope that our partnership can continue into the future.
Definitely.
A big thank you, of course, to you guys at home for tuning in. It has been a action-packed Sunday Super Show here on SRW TV.
Yep, some nice shout-outs on both the streams at the moment to Schultze, who was our Super 2 winner tonight. Dan Schultz, I had a great battle with Dan in round 1, and he was really unlucky last week at Belle Isle. Was running P1 when I think Stead Miller got into the back of him. And so, but only had to wait one more week to pick up his first SRW win, so well done, buddy.
Definitely. So see these guys here, battling at the end of the top 20. But these guys, you know, it doesn't matter where you're battling on the track, as long as you're having a battle and having fun, that's all that matters. So these guys are battling for P16, I think, at the moment. So it's between, here we got Chad Lewis.
Yes. On every position here at SRW.
Well, he's ran a little bit wide, but he's going to get the inside. Chad's made a little mistake.
Had a crash, has he? Or is that what you were telling us about there, Shibby? Was that too? That was a while ago.
Well, he's moved under the brakes. He's going to go around the outside. As I said, there's battles all over the place, guys. So just don't give up. If you see definitely Michael Whiting's closing in on the and Blake Delaney, Jamie Dyke.
Very fishy boys pushing each other really hard, but Darren Lobb took advantage and he's just jumped 4.5 seconds clear now.
Yeah.
Again, showing his pace and smarts and racecraft all
I'm
bundled
definitely
together
interested in hearing what Darren's strategy call was there, because that's quite interesting to see how far he's got out in front.
I think that just the few guys that took advantage of that safety car were really able to play. You think of what happened to Harry on lap 1, where he went right to the back of the field for that spin, and now he's running in, what, P7?
That's right.
So
and these boys are battling hard. They're not leaving anything on the table, even if they're teammates. They're going, well, no, I'm finished in front of you. I want the bragging rights tonight. I'm not buying the
There's a
KFC.
dive there. Is that Blake Delaney making a move on the boss? Pushing Michael Whiting wide there. Should you do that to the boss?
Yeah, I would.
No, would you let me do that to you, Tyson?
Yeah, as long as you're going to buy the KFC, as we said in the chat before to the boys. Because these guys are going at it. Look at them.
Dano, we were talking before there, buddy, that you're driving in our in the was it the NASCAR Truck Series on Monday nights, and they're saying you aren't in a team. So you're out there looking for a team to join, buddy?
Oh, I believe I'm in the SRW team at the moment. Is this a bit of recruiting going on over the broadcast?
Well, I
cheeky. Have you guys got any drivers in the NASCAR Super Trucks or NASCAR trucks?
I don't think so, buddy. It's one of those nights I tend to race the V8 Strength of Field on a Monday night, the 8:15 race, and have been doing that for a while now. That's probably why my ratings keeps going up and down.
Well, maybe I'll have to have a chat with Tyson behind some closed doors, and maybe, just maybe, but at the moment I'm sitting quite pretty, if I'm honest.
Look at these drive trains on the back straight. Like, Harry's still holding off quite. Oh no, he's actually lost that position. So he has lost that position. He's now in P7.
P7. He's still in P7. No, that's where he was. Come out of pits in P7, I believe. Oh, Chris has got him. You're right. Chris has also got Logan as well. So
that's right. So Chris is pushing hard. Harry's made that little mistake.
Mate.
And Logan Barnett's in the eyes of Harry. So I wonder if Logan's saving fuel, because he seems to have fallen back a little bit, unless it's just Chris with his twin turbos and he's pushing hard.
Yeah, I think Chris has saved everything to have a real big push here and into the top 5, up 10 positions. So
that's right.
A belt of a race.
Pushing hard and up 10 positions
that
is probably the one with the most overtakes in this race, which is good.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Incredible. Here's Alex McManus trying to make the move around the outside. Just had to back out, and Bruce Tannock trying to take advantage on the second last lap here with that damaged Commodore of his. Trying to go up the inside in turn 7. Has to try and do it at turn 8 and just doesn't have the speed.
I swear Bruce has been in most of these races tonight. Like, he's battling everyone up and down the field. So good on you, Bruce.
Well, he's we've been told he's a drift legend of New Zealand motorsports. So he's been sort of on the drifts, circuit for sort of 15, 20 years, I believe. So, don't be surprised if you see him getting the car sideways and controlling it with ease.
Who's that in the pit lane there?
It's
Oh,
Darren
Darren's
Crosby in
coming
the
to pit lane.
pits.
So maybe just to get that little bit of sideways Alex McManus into turn 1. Oh, this must have been. There's always another
Yeah.
one.
A little bit of
We get an
contact there, I
action
would
replay
say.
here. As we get the
thanks
white
to
flag
DSL World.
waving as well. We are on the white flag.
Oh, it's a big lunge. Oh, the car's just out of shape. I think Bruce might be in a bit of little trouble for that one.
Thankfully, that's
Simultaneous
the thankfully that's the one place where the runoff doesn't have you hit the wall.
That's right. There's a big runoff there, which is thankful for that. Turn 1.
So, final lap. This is Stephen Kennedy and Stefan Lawrence.
Darren Lobb 6.8 seconds out in front now, so this is his race again.
Yep.
Jamie Dyke, P2, Michael Whiting, close. This battle, this fishy battle. I think they're piranhas at the moment.
Definitely, you
Come for
took
each
the words
other.
out of my mouth. And these boys aren't fighting, or are fighting. Come around to the last corner. As we see, Darren definitely is going to take this win. Congratulations to him. Who's going to take the last couple of spots on the podium? Looks like they're just going to go over. Well done to Jamie Dyke, Michael Whiting for those 2 last spots on that podium.
Like Delaney in 4th,
yes.
Christopher Ireland 5th, up 10 spots. I think he's the driver of the day, boys, and we might try and get him in if we can.
Yeah, definitely driver of the day for me because the 10 positions kept it clean and
Yeah.
the top 5 position. Well done.
And got plenty of airtime tonight because she's right in the middle of those thick of the battles. It was good, I know maybe we might cop a bit of flack talking a bit too much about our teammate Harry in this race, Tyson, but he was deserved to get the airtime tonight because he was right in the thick of the battles.
That's right. Harry had a really good start and then a really poor turn 1, but then it kind of opened the door to a different strategy. And, it wouldn't be Supercars. It wouldn't be a 2-stop race without some strategy. It's people going different ways, and it seemed to have, worked for Darren. It's a great example of that. Darren Lobb's come out of, started 5th and finished 1st, and a great strategy from him.
We'll just roll the dice with that first safety car. A few boys get themselves onto an alternate strategy. And as we said, you probably would have found it would have been a bit more dominant finish by Darren if there hadn't been that second safety car. Because, I think it brought sort of... I think that safety car is what really brought them into the fore. Right, Dano, well, the results are up, buddy. Take it away and try and get some of these drivers in.
So, Darren Lobb once again taking out the win here in the V8 Supercars Super 1 series here on SRW TV. Jamie Dyke, Michael Whiting and Blake Delaney, a fishy trio rounding out 2, 3, and 4. Very close between them. Only 3/10 separating the drivers. Chris Island up 10 positions, finished P5. I think we've all agreed that he is going to be our driver of the day. Logan Barnett dropped. I think he must have been fuel saving towards the end there. Dropped down to P6. He was battling for the win as well. Harry Dodds, Lindsay Hobbs, Alex Court, David Coleman rounding out your top 10. And it was a good race. It was action-packed from start to finish.
Great race,
right,
buddy.
And it went really quick. Like, I'm surprised we're at the end.
Well, look, again, I give kudos to the track selection again this week because Watkins Glen, just great action side by side. You could see, even if you got the run down the straight and got along the side of the car, it meant that you didn't it wasn't guaranteed you were going to get it done because you could run those 2 or 3 lines through the carousel and down through the boot. Where guys could run side by side and it all become drive out of the corner. It was awesome.
Yes, definitely. It was a very good, entertaining track, and from start to finish, we had non-stop passing, drafting. Super 2 was crazy, and then to finish it off with a good Super 1 race here. A couple of incidents here and there, but that spices up strategy as well.
So I believe we've got our race winner ready, and you boys can take the interviews. So take it away. We've got Darren Lobb here.
Darren.
Hey boys, how's it going?
Mate, probably not as good as you, buddy. Taking out the W once again. Just took advantage of that pit stop and decided to roll the dice, throw yourself a little bit out. I think
South African.
we
dominating.
thought that the fuel strategies would have been really tight to do it into without those couple of safety cars.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still in game and I'm hearing people talking in the background. It's a little bit disconcerting. It was a good race. I couldn't believe it when that first safety car came out and there were only a handful of us that pitted because I'd been trying to crunch numbers the half an hour before the race just to try to figure out what the hell we actually needed to do to get to the end, because I can save a bit of fuel in these things, but I don't profess to be a fuel saving expert in them. And I knew it was really, really tight. One of the stints we would have had to do something like 13 laps, I think. And I just didn't think I was going to get there. So at one stage we had actually done a little bit of a plan to just commit straight away to a 3-stopper and just start the race short on fuel and just run 3 really short stints. But with that early safety car, I thought, okay, well, this is going to put us all on the same strategy. And lo and behold, I was the first car that pitted. So, I kind of just saved a little bit from then onwards to the rest of the race because I knew I pretty much had about 15 litres gain on everybody else. So as long as I stayed with them in that last stint, put it a few laps after them, it was there was no ways that they'd catch up.
Now, you're talking about thinking about maybe doing a 3-stopper right off the bat. Is that because of the nature of Watkins Glen, where there's multiple places where you can get up alongside and make that move?
It's surprising. I don't know if it was just the set that we were running tonight, but I was chatting to Bruce at one stage during the race to go, I feel like I can get a run on someone. I just don't feel like I can get close enough to pass anyone. And then I think we were just running the wrong gear stack because heading down into turn 5, I was actually sitting on the rev limiter quite early. So I got to be honest, I actually, once I got into cars that were of a similar pace, I found it quite difficult to overtake, to be dead honest. The reason I wanted to go for the 3-stop is because I thought it would have been a lot easier to pass. But anyway, that's the ifs and buts of it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It is, buddy. And I thought, there was a couple other guys, I think Chris Island and Harry Dodds, that took advantage of that as well. I know Harry had a spin early on and it brought him right back into the play. So it was the right call tonight, buddy, and just meant that you didn't have quite as tighter margins. So look, let's give you a chance to promote your sponsors once again, and we'll bring Michael and Jamie into the room while you take it away, Darren.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys. Just a big thanks again to Bruce from Egg and Turbo, and then my team, Simrix, DPR, and just all of our sponsors. It's without them, I'd say it wouldn't be possible, but you probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. And again, thank you to you guys for a hell of an enjoyable stream. I look forward to catching up with everyone next week.
The South African has come to the Australian League and dominated it.
I got to claim something. It's rugby and then it's motor racing, right? we nearly got the W. We nearly got the W with Calvin van der Linde in the Bathurst 12-hour today, but I'll take the one around the Glen, right?
That's right.
Right, boys.
And we've also brought Jamie Dyke and Michael Whiting in as well. So well done to you boys, P2 and 3 for Vishy Motorsports. Jamie, were you just the brick at the start there, Jamie? So you were the one that couldn't do the nice fuel saving that the guys behind you were doing?
No, I was doing first stint. I was doing some pretty good fuel saving. I hit the number that I needed to hit.
Yep.
Second stint was bit of a burn. And third stint, I felt like I didn't take tyres, but apparently I just cooked them on the first 2 laps.
That happened before. It's easy to do. So that you didn't contemplate going in at that early safety car?
Nah.
Position? Nah.
Being at the front, it's not something I could have done in that situation. And for Darren to do that, I mean, good luck to him. He did he did a good job and it pulled off for him. So congrats to him. But I wasn't in a position to do that strategy.
I think those boys actually benefited from the second one too, because it pretty much fell right in their window as well. So
yeah.
So I think you guys did pretty well to put it P2 and P3. Given that the safety car gods just conspired against you guys.
And yeah, look, a little bit. But you get that. It's a big risk running with the safety cars. So If it doesn't fall your way, it can go really badly, and other times it works for you. So, well, I don't know, Darren is quick anyway, so he would have been right up the front with us, giving us a good battle anyway, I think.
Now we saw a nice little fishy battle there at the end of that race. So there was there 3 piranhas on the track, mate? They weren't goldfish.
Yeah, I think Blake and Jamie might need to go change their underwear after a little incident coming into the carousel.
Well, we just thought, there wasn't there the respect for the boss man that there should have been, or?
No, that's not. We race hard and fast, and whoever comes out in front, as long as we don't take each other out, it's the main thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, there was quite a bit of door banging out there, wasn't there?
That's right. Bit of door banging, bumping, grinding, pushing each other, but with respect, and it was good to see. And I'm looking forward to that KFC shout that we were talking about earlier. So, well done, boys.
Shout.
All right, well, Michael or Jamie, either one of you want to take it away and promote those awesome sponsors that the Fishy Boys have?
Yeah, I can do that. Jamie's got a memory of a goldfish, so I'll run through that. We've got Withstand Motor Group, Black Wolf Graphics, DC Shades, Relax Marine and Game Fishing, and Precision Sim Training for all the setups that he does each week for us. So,
and I think you mean he's got a memory like a piranha, because that's all I was watching tonight. So.
Yeah, correct.
Right, now we've also brought in our P5 place car, Chris Island. You had an awesome race tonight, buddy. Right in the thick of the battles, and same as Darren, you took advantage of the safety car and it seemed to work out for you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely not as good as Darren did. Darren, yeah, that was a mega job, mate. That safety car came in right at the right time for you. But yeah, it was good fun. There was a lot of side by side battles. I think there was a couple of laps there where I was side by side for almost the full lap. So yeah, it's good to just get a bit of racing in, and very clean and a lot of room given. So yeah, big respect to everyone in the field tonight. I think it was really enjoyable to race, and I'm sure a lot of the people on broadcast certainly enjoyed it as well. So,
oh mate, you were right in the middle of the battle pack of sort of like 5 cars, and you had Dave Coleman there, you had Harry Dodds, yourself. I think it was Bruce Tannock earlier in the race was in that battle, and it was a matter of 2 cars in front, sort of almost creating an even bigger tow for the guys behind.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching that. I tried to stay out of it as much as possible, just because I didn't want to damage the car or get involved in some silly incident. So yeah, I just wanted to try and sit back, save a little bit of fuel, and just watch it happen. And it was good to watch. There was I mean, it was absolutely hectic. There was dive bombs and respectful racing, of course, but yeah, a lot of jostling for position and a lot of just a lot of good, hard, fair racing.
Yeah, well, there's a fair few scrapes up the side of that car by the end, buddy. So there's plenty of door banging, but it was exciting stuff and great to watch. So I'll give the other boys a chance if they got any questions for you, and then you can let us know about your sponsors.
Oh, just one comment from me, bro. I just want to say thanks for bringing that beautiful paint and keeping it nice and shiny, and well done in your 10 positions game, man. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
I'll just like to say you're doing the Dynaco blue proud.
That's it.
All right, well, let us know about what you've got on that thing. So take it away, buddy, and yeah, you can do a shout out to your sponsors. We're going to try to make sure we get a driver of the day in these races and give guys a chance to, that have a great race like yourself, to talk about the people supporting them.
Yeah, definitely. So a big shout out to Hobbs Trenching and Boring on the side of the car. You'll see it big there, a big help. Yeah, massive sponsor there. So also to Precision Performance Shop. They're really good, and their setups definitely helped bring home that driver of the day today. So yeah, just big shout out to ProSurf Finance, Sydney Computers, AJ Insurance Services, Transform Media, Pixel Blocks, CD Simtography, and 27 Designs for some of our sprint cars, I believe. So yeah, big shout out to all those guys. Thank you very much for the help, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for that one, Chris. I think that will round out our Super Show this evening. It has been an absolutely action-packed night. We had an incredible race in the Super 2s and an even more hectic race in the Super 1s after that. one last massive shout out to everyone watching at home. We appreciate you guys sticking with us for the longevity of the stream and right to the very end. And also a big thank you to our sponsors, Dragonrc sponsoring the series, DSL Welding being the big sponsoring of SRW as a whole, and Promo Department, our safety car, of course, as well. That's all I've really got to say. Anything that you'd like to add, Cowie, Tyson? I think that's kind of us done.
Awesome,
I think
awesome
we've
night.
got-
I threw away another opportunity to finish near the front myself, but I was happy with my drive. But these boys in Super 1, they had a great drive. Congratulations to Dan Schultz in Super 2 and Darren Lobb in Super 1.
Yeah,
Awesome
that's
racing.
right. Then definitely, guys, don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday for all the action again.
And don't forget, guys, tomorrow night is the NASCAR Cup. That is, of course, going to be taking place at Michigan. So it's going to be another oval once again. We're almost at
Dano?
Sorry?
Getting your practice in for that, buddy?
Mate, I don't even practice for any of them. I just jump in, do a couple of laps, and end up at the front. I'm telling the honest to God truth. I don't know how I keep ending up at the front. I just like oval racing, I guess. But I enjoy it. It's a good bit of fun. And I'm sure we will see quite a few of you there tomorrow. But thank you guys very much once again for tuning in. From all of us here at SRW TV, we wish you a lovely night, and we hope to see you tomorrow for the NASCAR Super Trucks. Good night.